Now, where is that one thing we wanted to do?
Oh, we live. We live.
No, you fucking don't. That's a lie. That's a lie. This guy is lying on me.
Oh.
Okay, Lincoln is in another. Okay, shut up. Okay, I'm about to switch my mic and shit over. Where's my phone? I'm so glad I don't gotta use. I'm gonna I'm gonna truck you up. I remember that one. Okay, I'm swapping over the headset. I'll still be here. Let me see what's going on over here. Okay, we good? Let me get this thumbnail. Hey, Big Money, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
We
Can you
got
hear me?
this. We got
Can you hear me?
thumbnail.
Oh
Where
shit.
are you at thumbnail? There we go. Changing that shit now. Where is the shit at? Big Money, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
That's weird.
Oh hell
Hello?
no. Hello.
Yo,
Martin God, can you hear me?
yeah, I got you.
Okay, Big Money. I don't seem that I can hear you. What's going on with that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Let me
Spartan
do
God.
something real
He
quick.
can't hear us, man.
I can hear JTech and Big
I
Money. I
can
can
hear
hear
him
y'all
too,
both.
but he can't hear me.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Fucking weird.
Hello, hello, hello.
Do we exit and come back in?
That's what I'm finna do.
They tell me I still
I'm gonna
can't
Let me
hear
exit and
see.
you.
come back in.
Let me see.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
this is fucking gay. Please don't tell me I got this shit. Ah, fuck.
Yo, Jay, you can hear us?
I don't know why he can't hear.
Oh,
I'm
he
gonna go out
muted.
and come back in.
Yo, on my screen, his mic is muted.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Damn, why can't I fucking, I'm gonna be real happy when Google Hangouts fucking leaves, man. This shit doesn't have to be complicated. Fucking bitch, man. So my mic just started working today, right? So my mic started working. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I can hear myself 2 times. I don't even know what that means. Fuck it.
It's echoing.
Nah, it's just fuck it. Google Hangouts is some shit. We gotta get with the topics. Guys, let's see. Who is in here? We have okay, maybe that was Big Money and not me. I don't know how to scope. But Big Money should be coming back. Lincoln's not gonna be here. Crap Gamer is stopping in for 30 minutes. I guess in a little bit. He can only stay for 30 minutes. Let's see. Who else do we got? Sam should be here. Adam should be here. Sam's helping out Somatic with a car. And then we got some topics. So none of them are written down. This is the last episode, and it was pretty much a quiet week. But we do want to talk about the 25th anniversary, which nobody kind of made a big deal about. This is the 25th year that PlayStation has been out, but Sony hasn't talked about a celebration. They actually pretended like they were going to be quiet the remainder of the year, but it seems like going into August, they're starting to make more noise than they did the whole year. So they're starting out with a 2-hour press conference in China for the China Joy Conference. That's going to be on August 1st. Then August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, they're going to be presenting EVO. They're going to be featuring all the fighting games. So that's big. They also claim that they have news. Now, there are probably like anywhere between 3 or 5 games that they're going to show off at EVO that are going to be exclusive. I know that Grand Blue Fantasy, from what I heard, that game's going to premiere first on PlayStation, as well as Grand Blue Fantasy RPG, which is going to be a PS4 exclusive. Probably going to get bumped into 2020, which I can't wait. I would love to get an announcement for that. I believe Psy Games is a Chinese studio. They're the ones that make an RPG for Grand Blue Fantasy. If it's not a Chinese studio, they're Chinese or Japanese?
No, Japanese.
The Japanese. Okay, fuck. Mm-hmm. But we still might see that at the China Joy Conference.
That's a big.
So
game,
my fucking mic is working, right? But I couldn't hear anybody. Is that weird?
So you were audible, but you couldn't hear anybody else.
Let me go test that out. Big Money, say something.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Could you hear me before you left?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you. You couldn't hear me.
Okay, hold on. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
You echoing now.
Okay, I'm echoing because I got my fucking shit. Hold on. Okay. So I can hear you through the fucking computer, but I can't hear you through my headset. Why not?
Echoing again.
Is it?
I think
you echo ahead.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Is that better?
Hello?
No.
That's not better?
Nope.
You were fine the way you were before.
Grand Canyon.
Okay, is it better now?
A little. You still got that echo though.
What the fuck nuggets is that?
Was that a Morse?
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Just stupid with the cell phone. Google Hangouts is stupid. The mic is working for the last Google Hangouts we have on Google Hangouts. It's now working like fucking right, right? And I think the only thing that fixed it is OBS. But now when I put my headset to the OBS, I wanted to show up. I can't.
What is wrong with your mic now?
Yeah, it's going in and out now.
The fuck? Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's much better.
You know what, man? Fuck Google Hangouts. I'm glad we're fucking. Let's get to the topics. Okay, so first off, You guys can see my screen, right? I'm gonna go share my screen. Let me make sure everything
Yo,
is.
yo, JayTech, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So there's a lot of shit that I want to share with you guys today. Big money. I talked to shit. What's your name, man? What do we call you?
Who you talking about? That's God.
Yeah,
You call me Spartan.
Spartan. There we go,
Yeah.
Spartan. So we got Spartan here. I know you've been trying to get on the show for a while.
Yeah.
We got Boca Loca here. We got Big Money. Lincoln said he's a guest on another podcast, something to do with VR. So he won't be
Yeah.
making it. Crap Gamer is supposed to be popping in. I already sent him an invite. He said he'll pop in for 30 minutes. At that time we'll talk about a little bit about Xbox and what what's the name said. So I wanted to share the screen to let you guys see what's going on. Um, okay, so we're good. Show that to everybody. Okay, so a big shout out is going to what Ryan? What do we call him? Bit Gaming now?
Big Cloud Gaming.
Big Cloud Gaming.
Bit Cloud Gaming. A big shout out is going out to Ryan. He told me about OBS. I've been fucking around with OBS all weekend. I've been trying to get the whole thing ready for what's going on now. So where I'm gonna have this is gonna be a similar setup. You know, I got one for Twitch right now. I have one for YouTube. I'm gonna be on camera. You already know I have the mic. I have everything I need. Um, this is to enhance engagement, I guess, to let you guys know that I am actually a real person. Also,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you guys keep up with all the information. So I'm going to make sure that our Discord information is there for you to get an invite or go into the Discord and chat. Twitter information, which should be very simple, and got my name right there. It's a similar setup over here. Right here, this is the official name for the Twitter and the Instagram. Instagram is going to be random gaming pictures. Twitter is going to be spam, but I might give that Twitter to another PlayStation Legion member so they can, maintain it and shit like that. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're trying to be more professional. I've made that promise a lot. I've gone through a lot of changes, open up with people, unblock people, talking to more people. And I got to give a big shout out to Big Money, because after that shit with Porter Rock, I gotta give a big shout out to people like Big Money that opened up their eyes. That I never was a bad person, never was like a villain or anything. But I do want to say all this to point out that Google Hangouts is leaving all of people are going to be affected, not primarily me. I've been here before Google Hangouts. I started very late. We're only on our 34th episode, so we haven't been doing this for like a long time like other people. But we're going to we're going to change the name to the PlayStation Legion Sunday Show or the PlayStation Legion Show. It's going to be the same time. It's going to be the same day. We're just going to be using Discord. Um, Gonna have a little information ticker to help people out, all of this. But I just gotta give a huge shout out to BitCloud Gaming and Boca Loca, telling me about OBS, telling me about Boca Loca, telling me about the overlays, which are fucking awesome. Um, big shout out. I've been refining it and everything. It looks like everything is cool enough, right? That I can have this shit. It can still be 60 frames per second. I can do everything that I need to do. I can be on camera with you guys, um, and I'm just happy. I've saw other people use something like this, but I'm gonna be using it again to help you guys stay up to date. Also, our times are not changing. Our times are not changing because it's hard to get that information out there. I'm not perfect. Like right now, I'll let people know that we're going live, but I don't know how many people showed up. So that's why we keep the same time. I don't want to confuse anyone. So we are we're gonna be on where we're gonna be at. We're gonna be on Discord, specifically because it's gonna be a little easier for us to talk and stream it through OBS. Um, so I'm gonna make a new tab, right, for what we're gonna be talking about soon, and that's gonna be for Discord, where I'm gonna have some information up there. It's gonna look a little bit different than these two. Um, so yeah, we're moving to Discord, same time, same day. PlayStation Legion Sunday show, or PlayStation Legion show, or PlayStation Legion gaming show. I don't know. We're gonna figure out a name. Maybe you guys can help us out.
I have an idea.
But Google Hang. What?
You know what the word congregation mean, right?
Yeah.
Like when you all get together, that's what I think you could call for Sundays, because that's like church related.
Yeah.
And Sunday is usually more of like a church day, but we all get together to talk PlayStation. So what do you think?
I like that. I like the way you put that together.
That is very good, but it might be too complicated for some people.
Right.
Like I want to keep everything.
You think they're that
simple.
stupid? Okay.
Oh, I don't think anybody. No, I don't think anybody stupid. I just want super simple. So we're gonna. I like
the PlayStation Legion congregation.
Oh no, that's too long.
That is fucking too long. Yeah, I think we're
PlayStation
just gonna.
Legion
We're gonna.
congregation.
What about the PlayStation?
I think it's just a
Okay.
PlayStation Legion show. Because we can short it down to PS Legion show, and it's real simple, and it can probably fit on a shirt if you wanted to. So yeah. Also, if you guys are generous enough to donate, that money is going back in the game. Okay. So what I'm doing with the money I'm about to get paid from YouTube, which will probably be 2 months from now, whenever they feel like paying me. I don't get paid a lot from YouTube, but that money is going to pay off that game called Black Desert for review purposes. Plus, it's $26, $27 on the PlayStation Store. And then I also want to pre-order Medieval and get that out the way. I already have Death Stranding out the way, and other than that, it'll be Final Fantasy. But I've been looking at the voting, and the polls are not done yet. But it looks like everybody wants me to buy this year's Call of Duty. So again, this is a first. You see that I'm changing. I'm opening up. This will probably be my first Call of Duty to buy, and to buy day one. So I'm going to be getting Modern Warfare. It's going to be day one. I'm opening up to teaming up with people and playing multiplayer with people. I'm opening up to do that. Let's stop the share real quick, and then I'm going to open up.
Hey man, hold on, Jay. Is it just me? Hey y'all, because you sound just like a little bit. It might just be me, man.
Nah, it's going in and out for me.
You mean like when he's going in and out?
Yeah, you going in and out.
It probably was I probably got the OBS working on the background. Hold on. Let me see how this shit works. What a shit looks
try not keeping like a lot of the windows open or tabs.
Yeah, but I'm using it on my phone. How do I sound now?
Yeah, you sound good right now. You sound good.
It was the OBS. Fuck. Long story short, let's segue into some things. Okay, so I was using the 20th anniversary PS4 themes, and I'm gonna do a new themes update. I'm recording it today. It might go up to tonight at 8, or you might see the video tomorrow. But long story short, I have the 20th anniversary the PlayStation theme, right? That was released to us in 2014, right?
Well, the 20-year anniversary?
Yeah. So it was 2014. It's 2019, right? So that's 5 years. So this November, PlayStation is going to be 25 years. I think PlayStation's amping up for a celebration, but this celebration adds into so many different sections if you're looking at it right. The PS5 is on the horizon. The PS4 is probably already at 100 million, or about to be at 100 million. And then you got a big holiday with Death Stranding and PlayStation is, again, just like myself, opening up more about their plans. They're going to have a 2-hour press conference this fucking Thursday at China Joy, which China Joy is getting up there. Look, any conference where Sony goes to, it's gonna shine. Remember when they went to Paris Games Week, and then remember when they didn't, and nobody was talking about Paris Games Week? Remember when PlayStation used to go to Gamescom, and then they don't go to Gamescom? Nobody talks about them.
No,
Well,
they made Paris Games Week pretty much.
Exactly. When they go to these conferences, when they go to these conventions, these expos, they make it popular. If they're not going, nobody could care less. Prime example, E3. No one cared about E3 this year. Not like any other year. I mean, we got some big shit. We got some new gameplay from Fantasy Remake. We got Cyberpunk information and gameplay. We walked away with some all right shit, but for the most part, it was lackluster. We wanted to see PlayStation. We wanted to see what they were working. But of course, we know they only have 3 more games. One of the games already has release date, box art, and all of that other shit. That's Death Stranding. We got 2 other games that was a part of their 4 games plan. And those other 2 are Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us. Pretty much all but to be confirmed. Both of those games are going to release in 2020 before the PS5. But what I'm talking about is a 25-year anniversary of PlayStation celebration. Matching that up with the 100 million PS4 sold announcement. What do you think? When the fuck can we expect to see that? Where the fuck is Adam?
Hey, you know what, man? I think Sony is really anticipating that they should hit 100 million before PSX starts, because I think everything will line up.
Because I wanted to go over this information. I put it over there on Twitter, and the thing was, they were at 96.1 or 96 point something in March.
8.
They had 98 now. The last reading, I forgot who I got that from.
98 like a couple months ago. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. It's about to be August now, bro. There's no way they're still at 98 million. Bro. PlayStations are selling at a faster rate than Xbox.
Yeah, but I don't think they selling at the point where they reached 100.
Yeah, but remember,
they could be close to 99. I can say this: they could be close to 99. I don't think they're over 99 though, Jay.
Okay, let me point this out. Let me point this out before I go delete Adam. Do you believe that they're gonna be at 100 million in September? I'm looking at September. I've been looking at July. I've been looking at August. I have been wrong about those predictions, but there's no way they're gonna be announcing 100 million in December, because they'd be over 100 million. But do they really?
I think they wanted to line up like that. I think they wanted to line up like that, Jay. If they do go over 100, it's not going to be that much. If they go over 100, I don't think it's going to be by that much. I think if they do, let's say if they do go 100 before December come, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say they're at the 100 101.
Okay.
It still is going to line up real good for December. I think they want that to happen before they start talking about the PS5. But regardless if they hit it or not, I still think that they're going to come full force at PSX with the PS5. Not full force. Let me take that back. Maybe with that same thing they did in February. Because I usually when I made that prediction about 2019, because I thought the PS5 was going to come out this year. I thought back in February of 2019 they were going to show like they did with 2013 when they showed the PS4 controller. Now I'm thinking that they could show that controller at PSX, and with them hitting 100 million before then, it'll all line up.
That's a no-brainer that they're going to show off PS5 stuff at PSX. What I want to know is there any pattern that I should be looking for when PlayStation, the original PlayStation, got information before it came out in November? Because that could be a month that they feel comfortable announcing that they are at 100 million. Also, a 2-hour press conference at China Joy could also be the day that they announce they're at 100 million. You see what I'm saying? The 1st of August, a 2-hour
If they
press
hit
conference.
it though,
Yes,
that's the
but
thing. If they hit it,
do you believe it took them is going to take them more than 3 months to hit 100 million when they were already at 96?
see that's tricky, Jay, because they don't have nothing out right now. The only thing I can see them hitting 100 million is that Death Stranding. That's the only game because I don't think it's not a third party game gonna get them there. It's gonna get a first party game to get them to 100 million. We be thinking that just because they say they sold out, because this last week it's been a lot. What's up, Crap Gamer?
Hey, what's going
It's
on,
been a
man?
lot. It's been a lot of people out there, man, with these predictions, man, and it just don't sound right to me, Jay. The only way they can get to 100 million, man, they got to hit that Death Stranding. When Death Stranding hit, then they'll get to 100 million. Because right
So
now, like I said, it was like at 98 something, and I heard that about a month ago. And we could be wrong on that. That was just somebody estimating. It wasn't like it was numbers Sony gave out. That was just an estimation. So
let me ask you something. So
go ahead.
do you believe that it's going to take them what we got November, so that's August, September, October. So you telling me it's going to take them another 3 months to hit 100 million? Because that's illegal.
Yeah, it probably is, but man, I'm just saying, man, that's the way it's looking. They
I
need
know
a first
they
party
need
game to get there.
You don't think Call of
software, but
Duty will just help them with that pretty much?
that's what I'm saying. You don't think Call of Duty or some
Or
other
like
small
NBA
straggler?
or
No, it's not going to be a third party that gets them there. It's not going to be a third party, in my opinion. It's not
So
going to be a third party that get them
if
there.
if they get to 100 million before Death Stranding, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to play
Damn.
Dreams? Are you willing to
Oh
play
hell
Dreams
no.
for
Oh,
two straight
hell no. I ain't fucking with
hours?
dreams.
Two
No,
hours.
no,
But
no.
yeah. Look, I think it's gonna be awesome. This is a very healthy thing. You get to 100 million before you talk about PS5 and whatever PlayStation experience hopefully happens. That's very healthy. Get to 100 million before Death Stranding. That's what I
Yeah.
want. That's very healthy. Meaning that you didn't need Death Stranding to get to 100 million. I don't think people buying PS4s a day, a week, these Amazon sales. You got to also, we didn't even talk about that. What did the Amazon sale do to PlayStation? Because PlayStation is selling and their software is still cheap and some of their hardware is still cheap. Like the Pro is not 400 anymore. They sell it for like, sometimes it's like 370, 60. Like it, I don't even know if it's back at 100 yet. Back at 400. But yeah, the anniversary, 100 million, Death Stranding leading into PlayStation experience is very healthy for them. You're going into next generation with hype, running into next generation, letting your fans and your gamers know that you can have confidence in them to continue supporting any system going into another system, which is something PlayStation is famous for. They were doing this with just the PS1. There were PS1 games coming out, and the PS2 was coming. Same thing happened with PS2. PS2 games were launching when the PS3 was out. PS3 games were launching when the PS4 was out. So, I have a lot of confidence. But since Crap Gamer is here, I wanted to talk a little bit about Phil Spencer because I'm not 100% sure, like, what he is or who he is. Um, I know what people say about him online. I see him at E3. I don't know him like an Xbox gamer of this generation.
didn't he block you?
Oh, Phil? No, not Phil.
Yeah.
Phil didn't
Oh, okay.
block me. IGN blocked me, but not Phil. And I still don't. Still trying to figure out why IGN blocked me. But Phil says something like this week in an interview that when you think of Xbox, you don't think about like quality or something, or he wants people to think about quality when you think about Xbox. And then
He said, when you think about Xbox this gen, you don't necessarily think of quality because he felt they were lacking this gen severely in high quality games. That's what
Yeah, he said Xbox has to mean quality games.
Yeah, there you
go. And he says we've got work to do there. But this is like the 5th time he said that in the last 5 years. So at some point, and I've kind of brought this up multiple times because everybody knows, like, I was a big Xbox guy, and when I was, it was no bullshit. When I bought an Xbox One over a PS4, I had money for one. Killer Instinct coming back, that was my jam back in the day. I loved it. It was like Titanfall looked great, Sunset Overdrive looked great. The first couple years as an Xbox owner were really, really good. Then they started to kind of fall. I didn't really care about all the other stuff. Like then they started to I started noticing a trend that their games were getting like less evolved, and even the games that I liked, like Halo, were lesser this generation than last. The only games that I thought really excelled was like Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon 3 might be the best racing game I ever played, even to this date. Now, I like Forza Horizon 4, but that is so much of a game as a service to me that it really takes away the fun. It's like, they almost force you, go meet up, do a daily, do this. I like the Horizon series because you chill with the music, you do the festival stuff. This one, like, the festival's all in the background. You don't even, like, a festival what? There's not really an end game there. It's weird. Whereas I beat the other Horizon games when you get to the end of the festival or whatever. So, I always find it kind of incredulous when Phil comes out and says this kind of stuff. My feeling is there's very little hype around xCloud. There's very little hype around Stadia. So he's got to try to talk people into it. What I feel he fails in not hyping up and getting people excited for the next Xbox. If people aren't buying your Xbox right now, right? Like let's be real here. People are like, well, wait till they have games. Like, I got to be honest. Xbox has the most powerful console right now. They have the cheapest console right now at the S. They have Game Pass. They have EA Access. They have Play Anywhere. They have game gifting. And none of this stuff has helped. They have backwards compatibility, right? They gave out like free backwards compatibility with like they even updated a handful of games at 4K, even original Xbox games, some of them. They did all of these things, and Xbox sales are still in the trash. They're still like at record lows. So what can they possibly do, or what's the reasoning behind this? And I bring this up and people hate it, but like, why is Xbox in last place? People will still point to 2013. That's not it. If Microsoft would have came out with killer apps, the Last of Us quality, the Uncharted quality in 2014, 15, 16, all would have been forgiven, because all was forgiven with the PS3 when they started coming out with great games the second part of last generation. Microsoft, I thought, was going to double down on games like Sony did with the PS3, and they didn't do that. They went the other way, and what we got was State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, Recore, just these games that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, because they're just, they're just bad quality. And when you play something like God of War, and I tell people this because I know a lot of people who haven't played a PlayStation yet, right? Yeah. And they're just like, they just like stick up for Xbox. They're like, well, I actually like State of Decay 2. And I'm like, okay, but when you play something like God of War, you'll see what you've been missing. And I've been seeing more and more people actually pick up a PlayStation and go, holy crap, you were right. It's like a totally different experience. Microsoft treats their gamers piss poor. They don't even apologize for it, right? They screwed us this entire generation. We bought a $500 box with Kinect. They said they can't pull out Kinect. Then they pull out Kinect. And then they're like, well, it's this, it's that. Games. Remember, Phil said that for the first couple years. And then he lies all the time to everybody. And now he's been in the job for 5 years. So it's easy to see because he does all these interviews where you just match it up. Like you guys know Kratos, J-Dubs. He's got this thing that, and it's like shows he literally promises the biggest and best E3 every year. Mm-hmm. Every year. Yeah. And it's never that. Like, it's okay. But as an Xbox fan, if you're an Xbox fan, literally when they announce an E3 or an XO or a Gamescom, that literally there's no reason to get hype. You might get a new controller. You might get some. Well, you're not even going to get backwards compatibility
some
stuff
body
anymore.
wash.
Yeah,
you might
you're
get
going to
some
get
body wash.
Exactly. You might get a onesie, right? But they're going to announce like it's going to be like everything they do now is a Game Pass infomercial. E3 this past year was a PC Game Pass infomercial. That's it. Like Flight Simulator. Are you kidding me? Like who on the console side is really interested in Flight Simulator? You know what I mean? Like, I get that's a PC thing, but then put it on the PC. Don't parade it out there and pretend like to throw us Xbox guys a bone. Like that what they did is, like, to me, I just feel like super disrespectful, especially since I was one of the ones that really believed in Xbox for multiple years and got called out, got threatened, all kinds of stuff. And to have them just sort of shit the bed the way they did, I'm flabbergasted by it. Like I when I watched this past E3, I didn't even know what to say when it was over. I was just like, I was just so disappointed. I think the X is a fine console, but the fact of the matter is, I was tweeting out screenshots yesterday of like PS4 games. The base PS4 Uncharted 4 looks better than anything on the X, and that says all you need to know. You know, like it is what it is. Like they can't. Sony, their developers put all their development and everything into like their console. Microsoft is like, we got to get this bitch up on like 50,000 different PC variations. The original Xbox One, the S, the X. We got to get this thing ready for cloud. Like, and you wonder why their games are just not very good graphically, or they just don't match up to the competition. Hell, I'm sure they could put most of their games and exclusives on the Switch at this point because they're not very impressive. You know, like it wouldn't surprise me. Like the Forza games look good, but what racing game doesn't look good? You know, I mean, it's pretty easy to do. So yeah.
Crap. Let me ask you a question. If this is just a hypothetical question, if they say, hey, Crap, we're tired of what Phil is doing. The board of directors came to you and they say, look, give us a 5 to 10 year road plan of how we need to get Xbox division back to the community, back to the gamers, the way the 360 was. What would be your road plan?
Oh shit!
The thing that I would do, the first thing I would do is I would actually get Halo, Gears, and Forza off PC, right? Like if PC is going to have their own thing, like Age of Empires and Gears Tactics, fine. Maybe give them Halo Online, right? Like its own thing. Like I've been playing the Gears 5 tech test, and I'm getting my ass kicked in the arcade mode. Like you can't disable the crossplay, and I'm bitching and bitching at Mikey Barr and these other people. I'm like, you guys got to give us the option. But you got Xbox dudes coming at me like it's my fault, like I suck. You know, like give me a break, man. It's a cover shooter, and you got people using these weapons with a mouse that can pick me off from a mile away, and I'm stuck here with the controller. Like it's not my fault. Like Microsoft are the ones that should be able to respect their gamers. I'm paying $60 a year to play online, and I should have a fair way to play. When I was playing Sea of Thieves, and to be clear, I like that game, I stopped playing because PC players were hacking the game, and you can't disable the crossplay. So, like, this is a real problem. So what I would do is I would pull Halo, Gears, and Forza off of the PC. I would give them something like a Halo Online or Gears Online, something that would be very hard to hack or pirate. It would be completely separate. You know, they can have their Age of Empires crap or whatever, and, you know, their Gears Tactics. I'm perfectly fine with that. And then what I would do is I would make sure that people were building AAA games on the, and I would announce them. Since Xbox is in such a state, I wouldn't have a problem announcing stuff even 2.5, 3 years out because we've waited so long already. The last new AAA IP that Microsoft announced was 2015. We're going into 2020. That's unacceptable. Wow. And when I bring that up, people are like, really? Yeah. Sea of Thieves was the last AAA new IP that Microsoft announced, and that was in 2015. That means that a year and a half into this generation, they completely stopped new AAA IP creation. A year and a half in. Like, and people don't want to know why crap gamers pissed off, man. I spent probably close to $5,000 on 5 Xbox consoles, 800 games, 2 Elite controllers, multiple 4K TVs. This is why, right? They refused to show anything. I wanted them to tease Fable and 1 new AAA IP at E3. They couldn't even do that. What they did was basically show a bunch of shit you can play on PlayStation at E3. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it, like, honestly, like, if I'm a Sony guy, I'm loving what they showed because you can play all that shit. Blair Witch, you don't think that's going to come to PlayStation? Get real. It's all coming to PlayStation. You know, the only thing that wouldn't was, I guess, is Bleeding Edge, but who really cares about that? You know, it looks like a free-to-play like game that they pulled out of the dumpster. So it's like that to me sums up Xbox in a nutshell. Even though they were working on that game before Microsoft bought them, that game screams 65 meta. You know, like, here we go again. You know, we get this real crappy game. And people want like something with a single player element. If you look at their last handful of games, they have no single player elements to them or anything worthwhile. Like Crackdown was very forgettable single player. State of Decay 2 had there was no story. It was just like random events. Hey, there's a zombie attack. Go get them. You know, it was so stupid. You know, of course, Sea of Thieves had no story. You know, like they can't put out any decent story. Halo 5 story sucked. I thought Gears 4, even the story was lackluster there.
Do you have any hope for Gears 5?
Like I'm not. This is the first Gears game I'm not buying. I have Ultimate Game Pass that I picked up for $1. So yeah, I'm not buying it. Like the tech test hasn't really sold me on it. Like the whole crossplay thing
this is a lot of truth. It's rapid fire truth that you're spitting out here.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is.
And that's what
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Like, when BGST first came out, you are always I think you already knew this. You were the person that hates on Xbox side. I think all the Xbox guys got behind you so much, they got so blind that they thought you could never change your mind.
Yeah.
People think people can't change, and that's the worst. Because like I've been listening, like a lot of people now. I know because I've been listening to Salty. I've been listening to what's the one guy named MBG.
Yeah, and be
I've been
muscle
listening
bound
to
gamer.
all
Yeah.
those guys. Yeah, and everybody call y'all phony now. I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is.
Well, you know what
I
they
think
say?
that,
They go,
what?
you're after clicks, you're after subs. I've lost over 1,000 subs. I've lost over probably 400 followers on Twitter. If it was about that stuff, I'm doing it wrong. You know, it's like you don't build up a bunch, 50 plus thousand people and then just change it and expect everybody to stick around. I knew what was going to happen, but at the same time, how the hell can I listen? The straw that broke the camel's back was Phil Spencer getting up there and trying to sell us a third piece of hardware in 3 years with no new IP or no AAA IP. Like that to me, how the hell is this man going to get up there and try to sell us another new console when the last one just came out and there's nothing worthwhile playing? Like nothing. He's giving us literally nothing. He's hyping up like these small games. That to me like set it all. And then when Sony's out there going, we're the hardcore. We're going hardcore. We're going AAA games, less indies. Well, you got me sold because if you look at the Microsoft store, it's got so many shitty indies. Like there's hey, listen, there's some decent indies out this gen. I like some, but there's like literally hundreds and hundreds of these just terrible indies that look like me and Mooch made them or something. Just like Microsoft Paint. They're terrible. Like I played 8-bit games like 25 years ago. Like give me something new. I want something that's amazing. And and that's the same thing. I love Gears. I got a freaking Gears tattoo, but it's like what they're doing. I'm not sure what they're doing with the story. They're not advertising it. The multiplayer is like forcing you to either play against tryhards that play Gears all day, every day, or play against PC players. Like that's the only options I have. So that's not really something. Yeah, it's not what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, like I don't want to play against somebody that can change the FOV and has 120 frames per second.
Well, let me
like it has a keyboard and mouse.
They're making that game casual as fuck crap, and I have to say, bro, for Gears 3, I dropped $1,000 on it. Very passionate about that franchise. That franchise is going to shit, bro. Point blank period. Xbox has lost their eye of the tiger. I've told Jay and everybody else this many times before. Get Phil and the rest of the motherfuckers out of there. Get somebody who is passionate about gaming and get Xbox back to where they need to be. Because at the end of the day, 360 was a relevant console. It wasn't irrelevant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So
well, there's no point in owning an Xbox. And I like people that I know, or even like they go, "Are you going to get a Scarlet?" I'm like, no. If they totally get me hyped up for it or show some amazing games, then eventually. But if I can just play this stuff on my X, then what's the point? Now with Sony, they're like, hey, we're going to be doing PSVR 2, which you guys might not know it. I know I'm in the minority. I love PlayStation VR. Like that's my thing. I love it. It's a fun.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a great experience. We were promised that. Phil promised us that on Xbox.
Okay, bro. This is what I wanted to say. I got in a discussion with an Xbox guy that was defending Gears, and I ended up. I don't know why, because I decided not to get VR for personal reasons, eyesight, but I'm gonna probably get one this year just for the fuck of it. But long story short, I support anybody that supports VR. I think that it's awesome that we have that option.
Yeah,
we're the only system, and I don't know if anyone else has thought of it this way. We're the only system this generation that support motion control, camera, and VR. Like, you see what I'm saying? All three are being supported on PlayStation and still are. That's amazing. Remember, Crap just talked about them dropping the camera. They didn't do motion control after that. And their VR, from what I went back and searched for the purpose of exposing this Xbox guy, it's streaming. You're streaming in the Xbox game to an Oculus Rift. You're not actually playing the game. That's if anybody wants to say that, they put VR over there. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They gave you the ability to stream a game from Xbox to your Oculus Rift headset. There's no real connectivity. There's no real VR games on Xbox Live you can play with whatever type of controllers they have for Oculus Rift, which are actually I don't know what you call them, but there's no support. The support was supposed to be there due to the more powerful system, which was the Xbox One X, and they didn't deliver, which was so easy. It was so easy. I mean, you got Windows. I mean, come on. How easy is it to release an update? Sony does it every generation, by the way. Like they always have these weird firmwares where they change the landscape, like the PS3. We had remote play for the PS3. We ended up getting 3D gaming for the PS3, and then was the motion control with the PlayStation Move for PS3. All came from a firmware. We got a firmware update for PS4 that allowed us to do HDR and VR. You know, so I mean, Microsoft, the innovators, you know, they have Windows, right? They should have released that easy firmware. You see how they just changed their interface, which we need to talk about also.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The thing with Xbox is I believe they didn't want to have people that bought an X have exclusive games, right? Because VR wasn't going VR wasn't going to run on the base Xbox. So they couldn't do that. So basically I feel like they didn't want it to run and have like exclusives. Like it doesn't look good. The thing that always annoys me though is Phil lies multiple times. Like he goes, not every game that's on Xbox will come to PC. Not every game that's on PC will come to Xbox. But it's like he hypes up VR on Windows, and he hypes, you know, and they get stuff like Gears Tactics. Like what in the world? Like Gears, like those type of games can work on console. Why would you not announce that for the console? Like you're specifically making Gears 5 on PCs, right? Like I guess it runs and looks so much better on PC than it does console. It's like it drops to 1080p on the X.
But PC as priority, bro.
Yeah, so like PC is their priority. So when did this happen? And like, why act like you don't want console gamers at all? Like they don't care. Like Phil's just like, we don't care if you buy our console. That's not how we make our games. Well, they don't,
because again, correct me if I'm wrong, but can you not use mouse and keyboard support for Gears 5 on your Xbox?
I can, but I mean, the reason I buy a console is to avoid mouse and keyboard.
Exactly,
man. Before I came in the party, or the chat, I should say, the same thing, bro. I played that shit, and I mean, personally, I feel as though it's Gears Judgment 2.0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, they do emotes and all this weird stuff.
Shit that's not needed. Yeah. But the problem is, like you state, bro, you clearly know when you're playing somebody who's on PC or using mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the way that they can hit you is just like unbelievably quick and from very, very far away, because it's just dropping the mouse on it. And people go, well, they don't have aim assist. I'm like, well, a lot of good it does. Like you can't even turn. Exactly. Like you're dead before you even know what happens. And I realized, like, some people are like, man, I'm cleaning up. I'm like, well, you might not have been matched up with PC players. They make it impossible to tell now. Like in Gears 4, you could tell. In this one, nope, they push it. It's there by default because they think people will be too stupid to really realize what's going on.
It's just clear as day, bro. You know.
And the crazy are they doing that because they don't believe the Xbox community at this late in the generation and play the game by themselves, so they have to boost the numbers with the
I don't think they believe in themselves, Jay. They don't believe in themselves, man. The first thing they need to do, they need to unconfuse, because I'm confused. As a consumer, I'm confused as fuck on what the roadmap is, what they're trying to do, man. They've been confused since generation.
That's the problem, right? They're hot and cold. They constantly are changing what they want. Like I said, when I was all in on Xbox, it was games. You know, we're in it to win it. You know what I mean? Like this, like we're first class citizens. Like their first couple of years, people forget Xbox still had map packs from Call of Duty, right? Those first couple of Call of Duty games, they were Xbox. You got them a month early. Like they bought the 30-day time content on the Division 1. They had some good stuff, and then they, like, I don't know what happened, but it's hard to believe that $1 trillion company that bought Minecraft for $2.5 billion in the middle of this couldn't afford to go to somebody and get an exclusive made for their fans, right? Go
ahead, crap. Finish up.
I'm just gonna say, man, it's almost like should be illegal, like the way that they did that to fans. Like we bought into their platform and they're promising us games, and now Phil's doing the same thing, right? He's trying to hype people and get people excited for the next one, and it's just like, here we go again. You know, like I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it, because the studios that they picked up, while a couple of them I like I think Playground was a great pickup, Ninja Theory is a great pickup, and I think the Initiative will be good. Double Fine, are you kidding me? Undead Labs, are you serious? Compulsion Games, like those studios are nothing special. Those are like little double. They're there to put out Game Pass games every couple years. You know, like I don't care about.
What happened to the Initiative? They just came out with a
quadruple A.
Hey, what happened to that?
They're still hiring. They're still hiring. I wouldn't expect anything from them until like 2023, 2024.
Damn.
Because, yeah, the reason being is apparently they just started making a game at some point this year. And it's any kind of new AAA IP that you're working on, you're looking at 4 to 5 years. Like God of War, that reboot took 4 to 5 years. I think Spider-Man took 4 years. So I would say 4 to 5 years to get something quality out. So that's a long time. Obsidian I like, but they're making Outer Worlds, which is a multiplat, and they're contractually obligated to make Outer Worlds 2 if that company decides they wanted to, and that's multiplat too. So you have the majority of that studio making multi-platform titles. Like there might be a small offshoot that can work on something for Xbox, but it's not going to be a big AAA game. And that's always been my problem. And people call it fearmonger. I'm like, it's smart to look at what these developers are making. Fable, I'm excited about. Playground Games, they can do it, right? But you need more than just Fable, Gears, and Forza and Halo. Like you need, like Sony, the way they did it, right? They're closing out this generation. Days Gone, super underrated game. Death Stranding, 2 brand new AAA IPs this year. That's fantastic. Next year they're going to have Ghost of Tsushima. That might even be a cross-gen with PS5. That would be my best bet, and that would be great. Launch a new IP with the PS5, but it's also going to be on PS4, so no worries. And you're going to launch The Last of Us 2. That's going to be like another Game of the Year candidate. They got it down. Next year at E3, they're going to shit all over Microsoft. They're going to announce stuff like Spider-Man 2 and Horizon Zero Dawn 2 because they have no problem getting their fans hyped up. Phil's going to go out there and go, well, I'm really more excited once again for things I didn't announce this year, guys. Wait till next year. We got some surprises in store. And then all these people that hate on me because I'm honest are going to go, you just got to wait till next year, crap. They're going to really bring it. It didn't make sense for them. It didn't make sense for them to bring it this year because
8 years, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, I'm like, here I am getting gray.
You know what?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
After you, Jay, let me ask a question. But go ahead, bro.
Cool. I wanted to know, is there any way that they could start listening to people that gives a fuck about Xbox, like you, passionate about Xbox? Me, I would love them to listen to me because all I can say is I want you to be competitive again.
Yeah.
I miss the challenge of arguing with an Xbox gamer from last generation. It was exhilarating. You can't get that anymore because the arguments are too easy.
There's nothing to argue. There's
there you go. So, and another question: how can they reverse putting their games on PC and devaluing a unannounced console? So the new Xbox is, it's going to be announced officially next year, but who can get hyped for that, knowing that all future games are going to be on multiple platforms, including with this xCloud thing, where, I mean, if they have this app on PlayStation 5, or if PlayStation 5 is more like, like an Android marketplace where anything that's out there you can download on a PlayStation. I mean, just think about that. Like, why do you need to buy Scarlet? You need a reason besides interface, besides power, besides applications.
I don't even think they're going to have power. I think they're going to be so close that it's not going to be noticeable. And not only that, but and I've said this multiple times, and I've heard people pick up on this, but Microsoft picked the worst generation to lose like this because you're taking literally everything with you. So the 100 million people that have a PS4 and built up a catalog on PS4, they're not going to switch to Xbox. They're going to stay with PS4 and take their games with them, so it was really bad on Microsoft to kind of like screw up the way that they did. And I think Xbox Scarlet is going to sell maybe worse than the original Xbox. Just because they don't care if you buy it, right? And that's the thing. If you don't care, why should we care? And the second thing is, I'm of the mind, I've made a prediction that I feel like within 3 years, Microsoft will totally they'll totally be publishing their games natively on PlayStation and Nintendo.
So
I feel like
they go full third party.
I think they will, but they'll still support why wouldn't they? Because they're still going to support their game console, right? Like they'll still have it and they'll still do updates for it. And you're going to have these fanboys that are going to 100% go, well, who cares? As long as I can play my games on my Xbox, I'm fine.
I've already engaged with people like that.
Dude, it makes me want to bash my head in because it's like talking to a brick wall. Like I got people telling me to get good on the keyboard and mouse thing, right? Like instead of just going, hey, you're right, crap. Microsoft should give options. They're just like, you should get good. You know, like, okay, I guess. I mean, I pay $60 a year for a
I'm gonna
fair
give
and balanced
Console
multiplayer.
guys do not want to play with PC guys.
Okay,
I don't,
okay.
why they can't get that, man? I do
Look,
not want to play with a PC guy. I
I'm gonna
don't
tell
want to
you.
do that.
I'm gonna tell you the first time I had an interaction with a PC community. It wasn't this gen. Remember, you know, the one little bullshit thing they were doing last year was the kumbaya of crossplay. Crossplays existed for more than just this gen. So I
It
played
was
against
last gen.
yeah, last gen. So most people don't understand this. Counter-Strike Global Offensive was on the Xbox 360 and PS3.
PS3
Had crossplay with the PC game.
Shadowrun on
Yeah,
360
they
was
had a
crossplay.
filter on there for mouse and keyboard. I got shitted on every time I hopped on Counter Strike. It was still fun, but I got shitted on a lot because when I didn't know that I had the crossplay filter for everybody, and majority of people was playing you know, Counter Strike even in the early days were PC gamers. So you know, they would team us up with PC gamers and they would shit on us, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair. Also,
Well,
like you said, they can hack into this shit. And
they can. Like Sea of Thieves is still like I remember we were playing Sea of Thieves. We unloaded every cannonball we had. I swam over to this boat. There's holes all in this boat. It's not taking on water. We get in our boat. We go to get away. They make our anchor drop from like 3 football fields away. They can't take damage. We're shooting them. We're hitting. Like this is like this is for a bad experience. You know, it's like a really bad experience. Not only that, but I have saved this old Eurogamer article from 2010 where Microsoft was going to do crossplay between Gears of War 1 and PC players, and they brought in average PC players with mouse and keyboard versus the best of the best of Gears players with the controller, and the keyboard and mouse people beat them every single time. And so it would have been embarrassing to allow that because they already had that kind of problem with I believe you talked about it, Shadowrun. That was crossplay with Vista, and that game died out like that because people got slaughtered. You can't allow keyboard and mouse in a competitive game. Now I'm really worried about Halo as well. Like, like they're gonna. I got a feeling they're gonna do the same thing, right? Like, oh,
they are.
well, play ranked. You can play ranked, and you have the option to disable it, or every other freaking mode you're forced to play with them. Like, I don't want to. I'm not a freaking. I suck at Halo. I want to play the most casual modes there are, and I don't want to play. I don't want to play. You know, against a person they can just drop a mouse on. You know what I mean? Like that is unfair.
So this is what I don't really like about this holiday season. Everyone is supposed to be stronger, not specifically because of a price cut. You're supposed to be stronger in a holiday season because the biggest games are coming out towards a holiday. Parents, uncles, cousins, everybody are trading gifts. They're buying gifts, you know, buying games, buying systems for their loved ones, right? That's why the holiday season is very healthy. Black Friday is there. Christmas is there. All different types of sales are there. How is Xbox going to be strong this holiday compared to last year's, which I know this answer already, if you will be able to play Gears of War 5?
That's the only way that they're going to be strong, Jay.
What?
That's the only way they're going to be strong is because of Gears.
They're still like Gears used to,
and you don't really need an Xbox and Game Pass.
You're right. But what I'm saying is for the people that do own the Xbox, okay, that is all they have to basically gloat and boast about.
Yeah, but Gears comes out in September. That's not the major.
I understand it, but listen to what I'm saying though, bro. Because everything other than that, it's a multi-plat. You feel what I'm saying? Other than what's on our side, you feel what I'm saying? Death Stranding and everything else that follows after that. Okay, what I'm saying is, even though it comes out in September, bro, they're still gonna boast and gloat upon how Gears is their almighty savior. And this is, like I said, this is coming from somebody who spent $1,000 on Gears 3. Was a big fucking Gears fan, and I see where it's going. And pretty much it's a Game Pass game, bro. It's a game.
Yeah,
Pass.
and that's a sad thing, bro. That's a very sad thing. Like, look, I'm gonna put it out there. I admire Xbox. I admire Nintendo. Everybody knows this. I play Nintendo games on Dreams and Little Big Planet. I had mod support for Unreal Tournament 3. Most people don't even know that the PS3 had mod support for Unreal Tournament 3. I had Gears of War character mods. I had Halo mods running on there. I still have the videos up on YouTube to this day. I own another system. People might look at me like I hate these systems. I don't hate these systems. I admire these things. And I understand, history, and I love history. And one thing I look at in the history and all of these videos that I used to love watching from G4 TV, if you guys remember that channel. Yes.
Adam Sessler. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
exactly. Where those documentaries where they would talk about the history of Xbox. They talk about the history of PlayStation, and the cheers, the crowds, the lines waiting for the future of a Halo. It was just, you don't get that anymore. You can't get that anymore.
No,
you
but
get
the
shit
question
for PlayStation, but you can't get it for Xbox, and it saddens me, man. I might not be an Xbox gamer. I might never be an Xbox gamer, but it fucking saddens me that a community, a fan base that supports them as much as they do, they won't be able to play those games.
Hey, the funny part is there's this like zealotry going on within the Xbox community where they're like, it's great that there's no exclusives. That means we'll get more. I've never heard. I've heard this, right? They're like, think about it, and then they'll throw up, well, Sony's going to do it too. And I'm like, why in the hell would Sony do it? Like, I get that Sony's probably going to offer like a streaming thing where like if you own the game, you'll probably be able to play it on a phone or whatever too. Like, who gives a shit? Like, the difference is they're not actively putting their stuff on other consoles, right? Like, Microsoft is the Switch's biggest third-party publisher. Bro. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you've got to be able to give people a reason to buy your console. There's a reason why Switch and PS4 sells, and Xbox is like at 35 to 38 million or whatever the hell it is. Exactly. It's some ridiculously low number. It is, especially coming off the 360.
So with that being said, the question I was wanting to ask, while Jay basically kind of hit topic on it, and this is to everybody: what if Microsoft didn't release the Xbox One X and didn't waste money on R&D to push that console out? Even though, granted, yes, it's a beautiful piece of hardware, but they didn't waste their money on pushing out another console and use that money to give us studios. Yes, even though we're getting them, okay, quote unquote, but what if they didn't waste that money and put more effort into giving the consumer exclusives and more mature type games? What do you think?
Hey, you know what, man? I've been saying that from the beginning. I think the main thing that Microsoft is missing, man, focus on your hardcore. If you focus on your hardcore, like Sony is doing, all the rest will come. All the casual people keep separating casual from hardcore. I don't think it's that much of a separation, man. I think if you please your hardcore, you please your crap gamers, you please your smooches, your mooches, you please your mooches, you will always come out on top, man.
Yes,
you will always come out on top. If you sit there, we're called the PlayStation Legion, man. I'm not gonna lie, I would never ever think ever in the world that crap would come on a show called the PlayStation Legion, but he's here.
Well, listen, like there's a lot of misconceptions about me, right? Like, people got to understand is, it's always been about the games. I bought an Xbox because they had really good games at first, and then when I started to notice that Phil would reiterate the same thing over and over, I was like, he sounds like he's full of shit, like a politician, like he started to sound like that to me, and so at that point I was just like, I'm going to give some of these other PlayStation games a try that I hadn't before, right? Maybe a fair shot or whatever. So I went back and like the first time I played The Last of Us was on the PS3. And that was like, I think after, it was like after the Xbox One and PS4 came out. So I got through it and I was like, and I didn't really know how to play it. So I played it recently and beat it on the PS4, the remastered. And I realized that you can upgrade the weapons. Like, I thought it was super clunky the whole time, but no, like I was just playing it shittily. So, like once I did that, I was like, hey, this is really good. God of War, just right from the start, I knew that game was like, that draws you right in. And Detroit actually was a hit right after that. And then Spider-Man, are you kidding me? Like, I'd never seen anything like it. So it was like, I could really tell that they really focused on their hardcore gamers. And then when you see Phil talk, he's like, any game you want, anywhere you want, on any device. I'd never know anybody in my real life or even online that's like, man, I got to go take a shit. I wish I could play my game with me on my phone.
Well, you can just use your smart watch.
Hey, yeah. All I'm going to point out, okay, I have taken a shit and used the Vita's remote play. Now,
I can counter that, Jay. I've actually taken a shit and played Gears 5 stress, the tech test on my Apple Watch. So
shut up. That's illegal. That's
illegal. You know what? What I wanted to say to crap, like back in the day with the BGST days, man. I think the most time I heard y'all, when I heard that team turn a new leaf, was that the 2016 when y'all did the 2016 God damn it. When y'all did the 2016 E3, and I think y'all did it on Mooch's channel, and you were laughing at Mooch because Mooch could not say anything about, because it was like he was trying to find everything in his willing to find something bad about that E3 for PlayStation. And you were sitting up there, you were just saying, they doing it, man. They showing games. I can't say nothing.
You gotta
That's
call
when
a spade a spade, bro.
yeah, I think it right then and there, and I was telling oh my God, my girl's calling me. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, y'all. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
well, listen, like if you look at it, there's no chance that Microsoft is gonna next year they're not gonna come out and show a bunch of games and surprise people. Sony is the only chance that anybody has to be, maybe Nintendo, to be surprised, any kind of surprise announcements, right? Like Nintendo, what do? They show up a little poster card that says Metroid Prime 4 now in production, or Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 now in production.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do, man. Put up Albion. New Fable in production, right? And
Look,
people lose their
I'm gonna
shit.
tell you the one thing I hated, even though I loved it. Okay, so I've been with PlayStation and I've been with Nintendo a long time. And Xbox, I was there for Fable. I was there for Crackdown 1. I told people my history. 360 got passed down to me by my brother when he, got the PS3. I got the 360. I love Fable 1. I love Crackdown. Crackdown was amazing. I never played anything like Crackdown in all my life. Leveling up your vehicles every time you get inside of it and transform, and it was just fucking awesome. I love Crackdown. But
that was a travesty.
What was it, travesty?
No, I'm gonna say Crackdown 3 was a travesty, man. That was a travesty.
They didn't update it enough. Yeah, they did. I mean, it still played like a 2007 game. You gotta update your shit a little bit. Like it just wasn't what it should have been for a 5-year development game. And the multiplayer, nobody's in it, by the way. You can't find a game. So
Game Pass.
Power their cloud, right? I mean, there it is. They hyped it up, and and the reason why
what happened to the cloud? What happened to the cloud?
You know what happened was they wouldn't let you team up with your friends when it launched to play the multiplayer. Nobody just wants to go into this game by themselves, right? Like they couldn't get it to work because I guess it really depends. Like if I'm in Florida and somebody's in, Europe, like those are different servers or whatever. You can't like have the person in Europe be in my same server.
That's
so it's
ridiculous.
A problem. It's a real problem. That's the problem with this cloud stuff in the nutshell is, are you going to be able to play with your friends if they're in a different state or different country? Like they can't use your same server. So maybe they're getting a different experience, more lag or whatever. Like this is a real problem. And so that game died off like completely. Like the Terry Crews part was cool, but it was just so repetitive, like over and over again, that it really kind of killed it. So I don't know if it was as bad as like the 59 rated, but it definitely was like, under a 7, I think. And, really for 5 years in development, just unacceptable, but just more what you expect. Like I honestly, every time an Xbox game comes, I wouldn't be surprised if Gears scores in the 70s. Like that wouldn't surprise me. I feel like it'll probably get 83, 84, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody was like, if it suddenly got like a 75 or 76 or something, Well,
I put it at 81, 82. I'm just gonna be generous. That's me.
I would agree with Crap though, because again, this is the fifth iteration of this franchise, right?
Yeah,
they have yet to basically really innovate with that franchise. You know what I'm saying? It's like point A to point B upon your. How should I try to find the right word?
Well, they're changing the main character to a woman. That's got to win them some points.
That's the W bonus.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Crap, I said the thing. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Yellow. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
With this day and generation, they're just basically trying to, keep up with the times and make that franchise relevant, a topic of conversation. But like you stated though, when you first played The Last of Us, last generation, that was my turning point because towards the end of the 360, bro, all they were focused, and I worked at GameStop at the time, and I clearly saw, bro, all they were focused on was fucking Connect.
Yeah.
Gears Judgment, that game was fucking trash. Campaign, I give them that. Campaign was pretty solid, but that
was actually kind of fun, but then the multiplayer was like
straight
Unreal
ass.
Tournament or something. I don't know. It was weird.
So when
Crap, you
go ahead, hold on.
Yeah.
So when
go ahead, yo.
You good? I'm sum it up real quick. But when I had my PS3, I primarily played exclusives on there. Saw the direction of Xbox and where it was going. I chose to basically start playing the exclusive like Last of Us, etc. And when I played The Last of Us, I told myself right then and there, bro, you will never get that experience on Xbox. And for anybody out there that's listening, and if you're just saying I'm primarily an Xbox player, you're not even doing yourself justice as a gamer to basically not experience these IPs, as in Spider-Man, Uncharted, The Last of Us, future games like Death Stranding. You know,
hey, I implore people to play God of War, man. Like, no joke.
Oh yeah,
like that game changed my. I was just glued the whole time. I was like, holy! Like when you start off with that stranger fight right at the beginning,
yeah. As
you're
soon
like,
as it said leave my house and he gets uppercutted over the house,
yeah.
Like, oh shit!
I had never really experienced anything like that. And it was like it was just
Nobody
like I was like, that's how you bring back a game, because if you look at it, like my point of view was God of War had the same problem that Gears had, which was they did Ascension, which wasn't very good.
You're right.
And Judgment wasn't very good. So they both had to come back from this. And God of War took way more risks and it paid off. And I felt like Gears 4 gave us these really kind of millennial characters that were they were like I gotta be honest, man.
Than you were fighting locusts,
man. My original thing was like Marcus, like fuck yeah, and then you got like Coltrane, like woo, you know what I mean? Like those were like over the top characters. They were funny, making fun of each other, and now I guess that's misogynist.
So let me ask you this, crap.
Yeah.
Did you cry when Dom died?
I was upset when Dom died. I was upset when Maria died.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, because
that was a powerful scene.
Yeah, you spend all that time, and now it's like JD. Who's JD? You know, like
well, you might as well say JD is more like a Nathan Drake of Gears.
My bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you know what? You know what happened at the end? You know why we got the girl as the main character now? I think people fell in love with the ending of Gears 4, so it changed the whole road for them. I think that they looked at that. It was such an impact at the end of Gears 4. People love that storyline. I think that's why they going with her as the main character.
Well, overall, I think they probably thought like people were really lukewarm on JD. Like they didn't like. I didn't like any of the characters. I was like, these guys suck. Like I was like, where's Marcus? Oh, he's kidnapped, and like you got to go rescue. Like you got to rescue Marcus? Are you kidding me?
Yep,
like Marcus would shit on these characters. Like those guys couldn't carry his jockstrap. Why they got to rescue Marcus? You know, so they did a really poor job of getting people attached to these characters. And now it's like maybe her character is a legit thing. I don't know. But what I do know is that Microsoft tends to do very politically correct things now. And like it wouldn't surprise me if they switched it just for that fact. Like they just threw in random characters in Halo 5. Like I couldn't tell you who. Like I knew who Master Chief and Locke were because they advertised them. But the other characters that they forced you to have in there, I didn't know who they were. I mean, I knew Buck from ODST, but the females, I didn't know them or the other guy. I have no idea who they are. I'm a big gamer.
How do they expect you to get engaged in the game when there's no backstory on characters?
Somebody said Tanaka.
One of them, I think.
One of them is Tanaka. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like nobody knows. Like that's
you know what? That smoking shit they did with Gears, that backfired on them so badly, man.
Well, really, they took out curb stomps. They took out curb stomps.
I wanted to ask you about this, man, because a lot of shit happened that weekend. So by Friday, everybody knew about the smoking. By Saturday, people were smashing their Xboxes on a video, right? Yeah. And then by Monday, Amazon had that fucking sale. And Xboxes wouldn't sell, but PlayStation would sell it. I think that was probably one of the last worst things that had happened to the Xbox as far as damaging the credibility of Phil Spencer, damaging just the brand of Gears as a whole.
Their marketing team, Jay, they need to get rid of their marketing team. Their marketing team, this whole generation has been fucking terrible.
Their marketing team is more focused on promoting Game Pass more than they are fucking Gears.
I brought it up to Aaron Greenberg, who's their marketing guy, and he said that people don't watch TV.
What?
That's his thing, and that's not the first time he said that. He said people don't watch TV, so they look for other ways to market.
Yeah, they're marketing Game Pass, bro. They put Gears in there for a little snippet, but during the closing moment,
slap a fucking game.
Well, look, Gears. It's sad because Gears used to be a game that would win Xbox and NPD for that month, and Gears would win the NPD for that month. And now that's not going to happen. Their last NPD win was 2016, I think, was Gears. So now there's Game Pass. Like you got hardcore people like me not even buying the game because hell, if I'm going to spend $80-100 on that, they could be trash. Like I'm not going to play the multiplayer.
Than multiplayer, man.
Yeah, like I'm a campaign guy, but they're not showing us anything. We're a month away from launch. I've literally never seen a big AAA tentpole like this not get any advertising. Well, they're treating it like Crackdown. I've never seen anything like it. It's very sad, and it's very sad to do to the fans, and just as Xbox people should be questioning Microsoft, but instead they're too busy being pissed off at people like me for bringing out the truth. Because there's always going to be people out there, and this is not a shot at anybody in particular, that are going to hype up whatever Microsoft does as being a great thing.
Oh yeah, they're complacent, bro.
Yeah. For me, I can like I said, I could done. There's a million times lately I could have done a Xbox Scarlet video, but what the hell is the point? And how disingenuous would it be to do that, unless it's something really good? Because there's no quality content that's going to be on it. So hey, sell us a Scarlet, great. What am I playing? Roblox too? Like who cares? Like multiplats. Like that, those things, like the multiplats. The reason why I'm playing more PS4 and Switch lately is because the exclusives. The multiplats all seem very boring to me. It's like more Division or more Destiny or more of this. It's like I want something new. And the things that take the most advantage of the hardware is the exclusives. Like the Days Gones, the Judgments. I'm playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch. Like, what was Microsoft thinking? Why couldn't they get?
That's what I wanted to know. You know that Activision lost the rights to all Marvel games, right? So they got split up. Nintendo got what you said, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is great that they got that. They got a game with the majority of every character you saw in the movies. Yeah. We already knew Spider-Man was gonna go with Sony. That's just an obvious choice. They make the movies. They've been doing Spider-Man for many, many years. Well, then they ended up scooping up fucking Iron Man, which was kind of fucking crazy. And then Avengers, well, that's multi-plat, and that went to Square Enix, which, of course, think about it. Square Enix, the people that make Final Fantasy, is doing Avengers. It's a weird thing. There are many, many other characters out there. What is
They're publishing it. They're not making it.
Yeah, shut up, Adam.
Can I just say one thing though? To grab gamer, just specifically. I just want to say,
damn it.
When he mentioned about Xbox fans, at least you got the fucking balls to actually fucking vouch out to fucking Xbox saying what they're doing wrong. Other than other motherfuckers that actually go, just brush off their shoulders. Let it be what it is. Yeah. At least you have the balls.
Well, you got to go out there. Like I feel like when the people that are like, oh, it's about subs or views, and you go, oh, well, you're losing both. Well, maybe he's really just unhappy. You know what I mean? Like at some point, people realized that that just people are unhappy. Like basically, I had to start all over, and it's like Microsoft. They're going to be third party eventually anyway, and there's going to be a subsect of people that are going to celebrate that and turn it into a positive. For me, I feel like PlayStation needs somebody pushing them, and Xbox needs somebody pushing. Like you got to have those two kind of.
You got to have it.
Yeah, you've got to have it. Like if
PlayStation's been doing their part though, and we all know that PlayStation has been a competitor.
Yeah, it's been a competitor since 1995. G.
Exactly.
My thing is this though, and I'm gonna keep it 100. The
need that competition value so that PlayStation does not become complacent.
No, they don't. They've always invested in themselves, and that's why we get games the way that we're getting them. Okay, but my thing is this: for the Xbox people, they need to hold Microsoft accountable, bro. You can't just bat an eye, just say, "Oh, that's fine, that's fine."
Yeah,
that's fine. Bro, you have more fucking control. You have more exclusive controllers than you have fucking exclusive IPs.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but listen to this: like that guy Maximilian, he just did this big thing where he got a Killer Instinct trending worldwide, right, on Twitter. Phil, Mike, none of these guys responded to this, right? Like, listen, you're not getting a Killer Instinct 2, guys. Stop it.
Just like we great. Get Alan Wake 2.
Exactly. Like they gave up Alan Wake. Like everything that Xbox gamers game-wise have asked for this generation,
we didn't get.
We didn't get a Sunset 2. We didn't get a Rise 2. We didn't get.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm sorry for cutting you off. That's I actually lost my train of thought like a few minutes ago. Banjo-Kazooie, bro. It was a bittersweet moment for me. Oh, again, I'm not an Xbox fan, but I am a fucking gamer. And I know who owns the rights to fucking Banjo. And I know who let up the rights. And that was fucking Nintendo. So same shit happened with Final Fantasy.
But
they gave up on Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it leaked out that Banjo-Kazooie, I don't know if it's a remake or remaster, leaked for the Switch. That might be something that happens sometime this year. I saw
that shit, and all I'm going to say right now, when I saw Banjo show up on Smash Brothers, I felt I was like Two-Face. I was split in half.
Yeah,
I was celebrating. Let's be honest. Shut the hell up and start playing Dreams. But I was like Two-Face, bro. I split down the middle, right? And I watched these videos of Nintendo fans in New York City in a Nintendo store celebrating, and I felt happy for them. It was epic to see Banjo come back, right? I was up there playing Banjo Kazooie on Dreams. I know you know the power of Dreams.
Fuck Dreams.
Shut up.
Yes.
They shut up. They've been making Banjo Kazooie on Dreams. The character, the first level, they have the music on there. It was fucking epic, But to see him come back and to see him on Nintendo Switch and know what's gonna come next, it pissed me off as a gamer that feels for the Xbox community. It's like you wanted that glory. You wanted that announcement on your stage that Microsoft is investing in a remake similar to prime example, Crash fucking Bandicoot. Remember how iconic that shit was when he came back with those new graphics, with the new animations.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Microsoft thinking?
Hey, not only did they remake Crash and it did good, but they remade Ratchet and Clank and that did really good for PlayStation. That was
the best selling one.
Except for the movie. The movie was shitty.
Yeah,
but what was funny was Phil was like, we listened, and I think I replied like, who the hell on the Xbox side was asking for these characters in Switch game, right? Like I don't understand it. Like this game would be probably a very inexpensive game to make. I know Rare doesn't particularly want to go back to these old games, but you could maybe have a few of them oversee it or something from another studio. Like you got to take those chances and listen to them. Like they don't cultivate any IP unless it's Gears, Forza, or Halo, and that's a shame because I would have like sometimes like for me, Uncharted 1's a good game, but it really shined in Uncharted 2, maybe the best game of last generation. You've got to give these games a sequel sometimes to find the proper footing. Like I felt like a Sunset Overdrive 2 could have been something really great with a co-op campaign and a team deathmatch like multiplayer. Like you've got to give these games a chance to grow and cultivate them a bit, show them a little love. And Microsoft's just like, shit, that didn't sell 10 million. No more sequels for you. You know what I mean? Yep. Like they just cut that shit off. It's like the only sequel we get is Ori, and that's because that was probably a very cheap game to make, and it sold pretty well for like a AA. So and that's sad when you think about it. And again, I feel like a lot of what they're doing is just Game Pass fodder, and I don't particularly care about the Game Pass stuff at all. I mean, I'm good with it because I paid $1 for it, but I'm not gonna sweat it or stick to Xbox because I can play Outer Worlds for free on it. Like I don't give a shit about that game, but it wouldn't stop me from playing. I would just spend the $60 for a good game on PS4 or PS5. It doesn't matter. Like people aren't gonna go, oh shit, let me go rush over there, because what's gonna happen is like Ubisoft, they're already starting their own game service. EA does it. Activision will probably do it. So the only games that are going to be in Game Pass are going to be indies and Microsoft exclusives. And let's face it, 65 rated games isn't drawing in anybody. Like the reason why they're dead last is because they're selling shit games. Like when you hear God of War or Zelda Breath of the Wild, those are fucking Game of the Year winners. When you look at Microsoft, it's like Halo Wars 2 and like Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2, which might be the biggest letdown I've ever seen in this generation. The game, it's not even like nobody's buying an Xbox for this shit. You got even Halo and Gears aren't games that people are buying Xboxes for anymore because they don't have the other games there. Like people would rather get a God of War and a Gran Turismo plus all these other great AAA IP on the PlayStation as opposed to like these shitty games. Like Microsoft failed to realize that if you don't have quality content, no matter what you're trying to sell to people, they're not going to be interested, right? Like xCloud, nobody's going to want to play fucking Crackdown on that. Like you got to get great games out there. Nobody's going to want to play, Crackdown on PC. Probably nobody, like hardly anybody bought it.
Video stuff.
I was thinking to myself, man, like if you're trying to put all your games on every platform, stop making consoles. It's that easy. Stop making consoles. If that's what you want to do, just make you an app. If you want, because I'm not finna pay $500 fucking for you to tell me, hey, you want me to spend $5 on this thing called Game Pass, and you want me to play all these AA games, and the only games I remember from the past is Halo and Gears, and that's it? That's all you have? I don't understand their logic, man. How they think people gonna spend $500 on a fucking machine? I just don't get it. I buy a radio to listen to music. I buy a TV to look at a television program. I bought a video game console to play video games on it. I don't understand what's so fucking hard for them to understand that. I really don't. If that's what you want to do, if you want to put all your games on other consoles, other platforms, stop making a console and stop confusing your fans because they don't know what the fuck you want to do. They don't.
That's a good point. Like for me, I'm like, if you're gonna publish your shit on PlayStation, just let me know now. I'll just get a PS5.
Exactly. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there are gonna be people like you. What was the guy named? The salty guy?
Salty Gaming?
Yeah.
He's good people.
His eyes have opened. There are gonna be more people like you and Salty.
Yeah, well, Salty hadn't played, like he was like me and him had a fallen out for a while, but we're okay now. But he didn't have a PlayStation, right? He was just really good with Xbox, and I guess now he's like playing Spider-Man. He's like, that's better than anything I've ever played on Xbox. Yeah. Well, yeah, like listen,
Bro,
if you only played Xbox games,
you can put out Gears and you can put out Halo every fucking year, right? You can,
yeah,
but you do need a good story.
Yeah.
I don't care if you put out the game. I can't hate Microsoft for putting out those games every year. Look, I hate Call of Duty. I don't buy any of them. This year, it's going to be different. This will be my first Call of Duty to buy. Not because everybody voted for me to buy it, but because I know it's different. I know they got a new engine. I know they're going to have a good story. I know they're going to be better for the gamers and not try to force microtransactions and DLC down my throat.
Hey, Jay, you know what's so crazy about this? I'm sorry to cut you off, Jay. Remember when Tim Dog, I wish you would hear crap when Tim Dog was on here because he was saying the exact same thing that you're saying now, man. It's like, it's so much of a difference from listening to y'all back then to listening to y'all now. But it seems like it doesn't matter if you would have came out last year, the year before that, it wouldn't matter, man. People will still get on you because y'all had so much of a following of we just solely they never heard. I've always heard y'all say we're gamers first.
Hey, I heard Showstopper even went PlayStation. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I heard that he's a PlayStation guy. So
like everybody over there, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, I understand y'all want to play games, but see, y'all had so much of a following of people that was so blind to the fact that y'all could not change minds. They didn't want to change their mind. They wanted to keep y'all in this one little box. These are our Xbox guys, and we don't want them doing shit else. Yeah. If they even mention PlayStation, you're a traitor. Like, I don't understand that about the community.
Yeah, there's a subsect of people, not all of them, because there's decent ones that are like, hey, crap, I really understand where you're coming from. I'm disappointed too. But then there's this subsect that really just want me and other people to go, Xbox is the best box, rack them up. It's gonna crush the PS5. Like, how the fuck is it gonna crush the PS5? Let me know.
The sinking ship. That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let me know how. Like, people go this. They go, well, I'm gonna watch until they start bashing Xbox, and I'm like, okay, how about you guys give me the positive stuff I can talk about Xbox, and nobody has an answer, right? Because to me, and I say this, all Xbox podcasts should start and stop with, let's get Microsoft to announce some damn games, right? We know they're gonna do XO. They ain't gonna announce any games. We know they're gonna do Gamescom. They're not gonna announce any games. Force their hand to get out there and show a little something. I'm not saying show 10 games. I'm saying show one. Show something decent for a change. But if you look at what Phil Spencer does, he thought this, like I've heard from a couple people that he thought this past E3 was Microsoft's best ever. Like, and he was not taking criticism to this at all. Like, he just was not taking it.
But how many times has he said that though? Because I think before
he was blocking people this time.
Where you say, wait until next year.
Yeah,
wait until next year.
He was blocking people this year though. Like, if you had something to complain about, he was like blocking you or unfollowing you. Like loyal Xbox guys, right? That just question it. They weren't mean. They're just like, man, I was kind of disappointed. We thought maybe you'd show some real games or whatever.
And I think it was the after you had your after E3. I think it was a couple of days before it ended. I started seeing the interviews come out from The Verge, just different sort of media's coming out there. Their interviews with Phil, just talking about general things. And there was a lot of parts where people would literally screen grab it, such as like console sales don't matter. It's all about subscription services.
I argued with somebody yesterday. They were telling me that I was ignorant because Microsoft was playing the long game with their portfolio and their financials. And I'm like, dude, we're talking video games and you're talking to me about their fucking stock options. Like, no, who cares? Like, this is the problem with Xbox fans, right? PlayStation dudes are excited about exclusive games and gaming. Nintendo dudes excited about exclusives and gaming. Xbox dudes are more concerned with Microsoft making a buck. I never seen anything like it. Like, it's so like, it's like a sickness, and I'm like kind of happy that like I was there. Well, because Phil is very convincing. Right, like I've conversed with this guy multiple times. He's very convincing, and you believe it. But then, like I said, when it starts to pile up that he says the same things multiple times and it never comes true, like he promised to make up Street Fighter V exclusivity, didn't happen. Promised us VR, didn't happen. Every single year, it's the biggest and best, more exclusives, never happened. You know, just the stuff that he says and does doesn't make any sense. He doesn't believe in keeping content off platforms, but he was the one paying for, you know, Tomb Raider for a year, Dead Rising 4 for a year. So, you know, he's very wishy-washy with things, and it's like, I don't like that. Like, just be honest with us. If you can't afford it, or Terry Meyerson, which is the rumor, was cock blocking you to spend any money, then just be honest about it. Say, hey, well, he's not here anymore, and now we're able to do things. But let's be honest, like, they could have went. It's a $1 trillion company. They could have went and got a couple of exclusives to tide people over. You know, like I don't care how bad it was. Like we got Phantom Dust with the original Xbox assets, and we got a Voodoo Vince remake like that, or remaster. Like that's the. We got Super Lucky's Tale as a launch game on the X.
Hey, let me ask him something. Jay, let me ask him something right quick before you ask him. I always want to ask you this, crap. What do you think happened with Platinum Games? What happened with that game?
Well, what I heard was that this is just a rumor, by the way. What I heard from multiple people was that Platinum Games was taking the money that Microsoft was giving them and using it to finish up these other games. And so when they showed off Scalebound, I think at Gamescom, and then they have these milestones that they have to hit. So Microsoft sent somebody over to check the milestone, and that actually was worse than the previous build. That was the point. And then, you know, Platinum Games was able to get out all these other games. And I think that was the point where, you know, Microsoft was like, hey, let's pull the plug. I also heard that they actually were going to finish that in-house, but it was just such a mess that they couldn't do it. Like internally, I guess they were going to do it.
But they still own that IP though, right?
They own the IP, but it's such a bad, you know, such a bad state and such a bad like omen around it. I don't think they'll ever bother to try to do anything with it.
So they were never close to finishing it.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of close, but Platinum Games said it would have taken them another couple years, and they had, I guess, invest $70 million. And so this is a single player game where you can play co-op, but there's no multiplayer. So Microsoft is like, well, we've already sunk $70 million in it. They want another $20 million. We're never going to make $100 million on this type of game on our platform. So they just kind of cut it. Same thing with, if you look at what happened to Fable Legends, that studio had a backup plan to make Fable 4. They wanted to make Fable 4, but at the time they wanted to force crossplay and this 4 versus 1 multiplayer. Like they were the ones that forced them to do that. You know? Yeah. That's a problem.
Crap, do you remember when that was going on, man? Because this is something I heard off the internet. Remember when that was going on? I forgot to get Hideki Kanama. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Do you remember they said he did a tweet where he said, I'm tired of these people at Microsoft fucking with me, and then he took the tweet down?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they weren't really getting along that well. So yeah, there's that. But like I said, I had heard that the big issue was that they were kind of just taking the money and not really working on the game. So you know, like that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You know, I would like, again, when they were down to like 4 studios, but you know, they kept on saying we've got games, you know, we've got games coming, you know, games. Yeah. We've got them, and I believe a lot of people believed them, you know. Yeah. So I did. Now it's like quite clear. It's like, man, you gotta sell me that bridge again. That's you know.
Well, you personally, if you had with what you know now, crap, would you do this all over again with what you know now?
We got some breaking news. I'm sorry, we got breaking news. Go ahead. Dying Light 2 is heading to PS5 and Xbox Scarlet. It is a cross-gen release, and it has been confirmed.
I told you that last week.
I did not fucking hear that. So
all right, carry on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably would have been more middle of the road, you know, right from the beginning. To be honest with you, it's like, you know, for me personally, I started off my channel just doing reviews on everything. And then I just did one video where I was like, hey, I'm going to get an Xbox One. I did not realize that there was this big backlash against Microsoft at that time. And so people were just like, drink bleach, blah, blah, blah. I was getting threats. And I was like, so yeah, like anybody is going to go, oh, I'll be damned if I'm going to let some internet people tell me what I'm going to like or buy. So I started doing videos about pro Xbox videos. And then, people started following. And I hooked up with Next Gen and we started doing BGST. And I believed in the product. And they were really good. Like I had interviewed Mikey Barra a couple times, and they seemed like good people. And Mikey Barra has said stuff like, "Man, we're really gonna put the boots to Sony, with the X." Like he said stuff like that. And but now they're so neutered. Like I remember Greenberg used to be like, "Halo outsold every PlayStation exclusive this year." They used to say stuff like that, and now it's just like they suddenly don't care about sales, and their fans suddenly don't care about sales. And the reason why is because this inexcusable damage control that's going on. Of course, the sales matter because Phil's like, our console sales don't matter, and then the fans back that up. And I'm like, do you guys not think if he had 100 million consoles sold, he has 100 million potential people to buy his software and his services? It only helps him to sell more consoles. So why is this guy out here telling him it doesn't matter? And then you've got the fans going, it doesn't matter. Like I pay $60 a year for Xbox Live. My worst nightmare, as I like multiplayer gaming, is me having to play against people on PC and a fucking tablet with touchscreens because because there's not enough player base in the pool on the Xbox console itself, right? And that's what they're pushing. They're pushing this like unfiltered kind of jam everybody together, and who cares if it's fair or not? Like at least Fortnite, they don't put Switch against console or PC players. If you're on a keyboard and mouse, you're going to play against other people on a keyboard and mouse. They pick it out right. That's the right way to do it. You keep things fair. Nobody's going to stick around in your multiplayer games if they're getting butt fucked the whole time. It's not going to work. It's like nobody's going to stick around for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm right there with you. I think everybody on this panel is right there with you. Console and PC gamers, they don't mix. They don't mix. Look,
it's not just the mouse and keyboard. That's the one thing that I talk about. And they've had a problem, and it hasn't went away. Is the hacking, fuck pirating? It is what it is. But I'm talking about the hacking. When you want to have us play with them, you're dealing with that. Now, let's say Final Fantasy 14. I don't hear that problem. I don't hear a lot of those problems that the MMOs, like Black Desert, which I'm excited about because I was interested in that. But yeah, when you're talking about competitive games, Rocket League and other shit like that, where you got crossplay, everybody was pushing this crossplay bullshit last year, but I'm like, the big elephant in the room is the PC gaming community is pretty much going to shit on all of us.
Yeah. So the question I have is, how long do you think Gears 5 is going to last and be relevant for multiplayer?
Well, the thing is, the Gears games are super hardcore. Those games die out pretty quickly. And now I'm saying you won't be able to find a match, but they're usually down to like 15,000 or so within a few months, actively playing online.
I was saying 2 to 3 months max before that fan base dies.
Exactly.
So we're talking about December.
Yeah, it is. Like, look, you can still go in Gears 4 and find a match, but there's not. You're gonna be playing against the same people. Yeah, and I brought this up. I'm like, for the first time on the 360, when you played a Call of Duty game, it's like 2.3 million people playing right now. They listed it. When you played Halo, it's like they tell you how many people. Major Nelson would do his blog and be like, 1.7 million concurrently playing Halo 3 this week. And now it's like they hide those statistics because next to nobody's playing. And I realize that there's more multiplayer games now, but the fact is, I've never had a problem where running into the same people over and over again. I found that on the Xbox One now, and it sucked. It's not a good feeling, It takes time. You can't even find a game on games like Crackdown 3 or whatever. It's sad. You could probably find more people. If I were to boot up my 360, I could probably find people more on Gears 3 right now than Crackdown 3. So,
hey man, you know what? I really do think that as gamers, man, and I know a lot of people might hate me for saying it, but I think as gamers, man, we gave too much power to multiplayer, because every year, we grew up. I'm 44. Crap, you're about the same age as me.
I'm 37. Yeah.
We grew up on single player games, man.
Yeah.
And once multiplayer games got into the fray, man, I had no problem with playing multiplayer. But when these studios put their games out, it was campaign first, then worry about multiplayer. It seems like when they go into development on these games, they put maybe if you take an 8-hour day of them working, they probably put an hour into the campaign. The rest is all multiplayer.
Yeah.
As players, I think we gave too much power to multiplayer.
Well, the thing that
the
thing that I say, but I got about 10 more minutes and then I got to go. But the thing that I've been saying is this, and this isn't damage control or BS. Sony right now are making the best single player games. They're making them better than the third parties, right? Now, Microsoft used to make the best multiplayer games, in my opinion. Halo 3, the original Gears 2 and 3, great multiplayer games. And now it's not the case. Like they're bringing back Call of Duty. It's going boots on the ground. You've got Destiny. You got so many different types of games. So third parties are doing multiplayer the best. And so and Sony's doing single player the best, and I think Nintendo's doing that too. But Microsoft is doing the worst. And if you look at the way that Microsoft is the EA of video game console makers, right? They're all about that games as a service. Everything they talk about is like Phil Spencer, even in this new interview, he's like, we want games like World of Warcraft where they're still playing it and it's relevant 15 years later. Man, I do not want to be playing the same games 10, 15 years later. Sometimes, and I brought this up because a lot of people call PlayStation games one and done. I'm like, I put I think 45, 50 hours into God of War. I was like, that's more time than I put into, most multiplayer games. So, it's like they're not as like one and done or as quick as people make them out to be, but they're doing such a good job with the single player games over there at Sony that it's really just blowing my mind. And Microsoft is just all about, well, we got to get, games as a service and loot chests or whatever and microtransactions. And, we got to keep these games people coming back to them or whatever and subscribing to them. And it's just like, there's a better way to do it. Like that. What was wrong with the old way? Because you already have Ubisoft doing that. They've turned Assassin's Creed even into that. You've got Activision doing that, with now they're doing free maps and all this kind of stuff, but you're still going to have all these heavy microtransaction. EA, like Anthem games as a service, even Dragon Age 4 supposedly is heavily a service game, right? Like the only company that's not really going that route is Sony. And I think people should be more thankful for that they're putting out these amazing experiences that a lot of us grew up with. And when you look over at Microsoft's side, they don't seem to be wanting to invest in single player at all.
No,
that should be very worrying to people. Like I don't care who you are. Like to me, that's sad. Like you got to be able to go out. You should be out there catering to every type of gamer. And I feel like as somebody who's a hardcore gamer, 800 games on my Xbox. I think I have over 250 on my PS4 now too. But it's like, why are they ignoring me? Somebody that buys like so much software and hardware, and focusing more on somebody that's going to play their shit on a phone. And a Candy Crush person, a person that plays free to play shit on a phone isn't going to subscribe to their service. They're not going to spend money. They're not going to spend money. Like focus on your hardcore, keep them happy. And I just feel like Microsoft has not been able to do a very good job of that. And I know there's always going to be people that are happy, no matter what Microsoft does. I just can't fake that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's very genuine. When I do some one-on-one, I like probably once a week I'll do just a one-on-one podcast with myself and the crowd. And it's very hard to fake. Because it's very genuine, like I like Xbox so much and I think people can tell, but how can I be a fan of what they're doing when they're not giving us any games? Because that's where it starts and stops for me. If you're not giving me content, then how can I be excited for your shit?
Hey, crap! I'm sorry, but did you change your Twitter page? You got a new Twitter page?
Mine, it's at @the_crapgamer.
Oh, okay. No, because
I've had this one for a long time.
Okay. Well,
like 4 years, 4 or 5 years, something. Yeah.
Oh no, I just gonna ask you, could you because I think me and you had some words back in the day, and you blocked me.
What's your Twitter name?
Big Money RT.
No problem, bro. I just had to unblock like 50 people this last couple months, so it's cool.
Oh yeah, I did have you blocked. Look at that. I'm following you right now. Hey, you know what? I went through and I was unblocking so many people because you know what I used to do is if like I was the typical Xbot, like anybody that had a different opinion, I just blocked them. It was like, hey, I'm gonna block this guy, block everybody, and now it's like. I just even if they hate me now, like so many Xbox fans just like hate me now for whatever reason. It's just like they take it really serious. I'm like, you guys are the ones that should be doing what I'm doing, is complain to Microsoft and try to get them to do something. If not for people complaining, we would have had that DRM bullshit, which they're kind of going back on now anyway. But if people didn't bring that up, we would have been stuck with that. Like people, they've got to realize that we're the consumers and we dictate what's happening, not them. So I feel like,
you know what? The most important thing about this gaming stuff, man, I don't know what it is, but it seems like people don't respect other people's opinions, and it's just their opinion.
Well, if you don't, like, I get called this a lot, like, crap, you're toxic or whatever, because I'm not Xbox, I'm not all over Xbox anymore. I'm like, because I am like going, I'm bringing up the truth, because I'm being more like, I'm giving my honest opinion about Xbox, which, by the way, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just very respectfully, I'm like, hey, man, Xbox needs to step it up, this, that, and the other thing. Now I'm toxic. And people throw that word around now is because if you have a different opinion, all of a sudden you're toxic. It's not to say that I've not said stupid things or stuff. And like early on when I started YouTube, I had this Howard Stern mentality. Like I wanted to be outrageous and say stupid shit and get attention. And it was like later on, it was like you start to realize that, people take a lot of that stuff. And we're in this culture now where people get offended by everything. So you can't joke. And like, it's very even a touchy subject to talk about, like, well, are they forcing this agenda on you or that agenda? Because people can get really offended at that even. So it's like, it's very touch and go. Like, I'm very careful with how I handle things now. And I wasn't always the case, but people are kind of surprised when they do a podcast with me or meet me that are like, oh man, you're not exactly what I expected. Because when I first started doing this, I was a big fan of like the Angry Video Game Nerd. He does a character, and Next Gen 2720 is a character. He's like Sony ponies. It's like funny stuff. It's like you want to be entertaining, but in my day-to-day life, man, I'm a dog trainer and I work with rescue animals, and I don't go around going rack them up, bitch. You know what I mean? It's not like that's not what you do. That's not. It's just for fun. And I try to tell people that now. It's like, well, that I was having fun with it, but the times have changed now. Like YouTube has changed, everything's changed over this like 5.5 year period. And you got to just kind of, now it's just like I like talking games. People are like, well, why do you still do it? Well, I enjoy talking about video games. It's fun. It's a lot of fun for me. So hopefully like people kind of get that and stuff, man. I got about 4 more minutes and I got to go, guys.
Okay, Tom, man, go ahead. Do your thing, man. Hey, it was great having you on here, man. It was real great.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Look, I'll come back, man. And see, I just got done the other podcast. So then I got to like, I gotta go home still. Cause like, I'm in the middle of it. Like my fiance lives a little bit away and I stay there, but my setup and stuff is at my place. And it's like 40 minutes away. So I come back.
Now all I got to do is work on Mooch now. I think Mooch got me blocked now.
Oh, you know what I told Mooch, I was like,
maybe I can get him unblocked right now.
I told Mooch, I was like, look, Mooch, I was like, you'd be surprised, man. Some of these people are really nice, a lot nice. Because I told him, I was like, I'm going with JayTech.
You was talking to people, man. That's all you got to do.
I was like, dude, it's just gamers talking video games. Because somebody's like, oh, crap's on JayTech's thing. You must be trying to get subs because he's losing. I'm like, no, man. It's just not everything's about that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just talking video games and it's kind of cool to reach out and do the new thing with new people. You know what I mean? So I had a good time with you guys. Nice meeting you all, and good luck. Appreciate everybody for stopping by, like it and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Peace it out.
All right, man. Take it
later.
Later.
Peace.
Okay, we're gonna allow Adam to talk to the wall for the next hour. Adam,
suck my balls.
Do it.
Hey man, that's it.
Yo, JayTech, do me a favor, bro.
Yo,
Jay, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Don't talk to my agent like that.
Fuck your dreams, Jay.
Fuck your dreams.
Damn it.
Yeah, I was asleep, man. I had a headache today, bro.
You played dreams too much.
You messed up, man. He was looking for you too, man. He's like, crap was looking for you. He's like, where Adam at? I've been hearing about this guy named Adam. Where Adam at? We was looking for you, man.
Yeah, he was.
As soon as I got a message from Jay saying join us, I was like, I went onto YouTube, I had a look, bro. See who was on, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, is that crap? I went, you got fucking crap on it?
It's not a mirage.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Adam, at least
I
you got an
didn't
invite,
even
bro.
think you would
I
be
had
able to
send
do
him a
it, man.
message,
But
call him.
yeah, I mean, great,
Get an invite.
awesome to have him on. Like, you know,
That's what I'm saying, man. Like when just like with Tim Dog, man, all you have to do is just ask and man, they'll come.
Bro, yeah.
Like a lot of
Like,
people think they won't, but they will, man. All you got to do is ask them.
and you know what's funny? He said he would stay for 30. He ended up staying for
Yeah, he
almost.
stayed way longer than that.
That was an hour.
So it was cool.
Do. It's good.
Cool. I mean, he speaks a lot of truth, and you know, like I don't know Xbox like I used to because I could care less about what they're doing. I know the bad.
Yeah.
I don't know any good stuff, and I don't know if anybody that's over there felt the way that Crap Gamer felt. But I see through his eyes, through his voice, I know people feel that. I know Yella, you know, I know Yella how he feels, but to see Crap Gamer, somebody in the beginning of this generation was ride or die Xbox to come out like that. I love it. I love it because if we're listening and we're over here on PlayStation, and as big as Crap Gamer's reach was, and still probably is, Phil Spencer fucking knows how he feels, bro. He knows he fucking. But again, this motherfucker they're running Xbox game division as a business, as a subsidiary of Microsoft. They don't care about the gamers. They care about making that profit. They care about that engagement. They care about the subscriptions. They don't care about how happy they are with playing a certain type of game, the certain type of way that they've been playing it. They don't care. They want you to give them money. And if they don't have to really give a fuck about how they present anything to you in order to trick you into giving them money, they won't. If you don't demand better, they're not going to give you better.
That's the thing, though. Like I was going to mention before it went, like their model has changed from what it was on the E360. You know, one of the things also to mention was that during the PS3, Xbox 360, when PlayStation, had an overpriced console and some other things within that, they were hunkering down on these studios, making sure these experiences were coming out, trying to make these experiences able to sell them consoles, whilst Xbox were hunkering down on obviously, third-party games and deals there, but then also they're basically trifecta, their trinity, which is Forza, Gears, and Halo. And like, I think I said this right at the end of the generation last, in 360. That's good, but they need to gear up for that next generation because PlayStation, at the end of last generation, they did so many IPs that they could thrive. Well, studios and IPs, should I say, to thrive off of through the next generation.
Playstation's always cultivating, man. Microsoft doesn't do that shit with their games.
They've done more of that this generation again. Like PlayStation they further improved that formula, from last generation. Whilst Xbox, like obviously, yes, they had to fix some things at the beginning, of course, but that shouldn't have taken you like as long as it took them to do it. And then, like Yella said, should they have fucking made an Xbox One X? No. Should they have made a sad edition? No. Like they should have spent that money on like increasing development like speeds to bring them out. Like it just makes no sense. And again, like we're talking about the next generation and stuff like that. We're talking about services becoming a massive thing, and there's loads of companies thriving into that. Sort of like, well, not thriving, putting their money into that sector, which is not bad. But like, how many of us want to have like 5 subscription services to our console for gaming? No one. We just want to be able to buy a game.
Jeez, they've even been bad with the names. Like they've been so lazy this jump.
I like what Gamer said when he mentioned about like microtransactions and like a multiplayer game that can withstand the time of day, or withstand the time in general. And it's like me and Sam said, we don't care if the game, like we said about Days Gone, it's a really fucking long game. Could that game have been like cut in half? Of course. And we wouldn't have been pissed off about it because as long as like, we don't want like a Red Dead Redemption game where it's really fucking long and then you start to feel the fatigue of that game. You want a game that would last you a reasonable amount of time and have a good experience. Like, I mean, I said it, obviously Sam doesn't, he's probably not gonna like this, but The Journey, right? That game was like 2 hours long and a lot of people enjoyed that game and it was only 2 hours. Like, and it won Game of the Year and shit like that. It was up for awards. and then you get games like 50. Like it's like a lot of games nowadays are like trying to aim for like 100+ hours or standard like 50 to 60 hours to like make sure that we're getting as much as we can out of our money. But if the quality's not there, then we're not getting that out of our money. I mean, fucking hell, look at Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's being shit on because they've changed the formula of Wolfenstein. Obviously, yes, it's a $30 game, but they're putting in looter shooter mechanics, RPG mechanics. Like the Nazis have health bars now. It's like, what? That's not Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein's like Doom. You run and gun, you blow shit up, you rip through Nazis. That's literally what it was about. You have to change something, of course, but you've just changed the whole formula of what Wolfenstein is. And again, like, you come down to it, bro, like, no one wants to be playing a fucking game for too long. I mean, hell, me and McNeil play Call of Duty, every year. And there comes a time with COD where it just completely gets saturated. It just goes down the fucking hill. Like, literally. Like, right now, everyone's jumping off COD now because new one's coming out. This COD is going down the shitter. And to be honest, it was down the shitter at the beginning of this year. So, it's all hours based, man.
Okay, well, you're done talking to the wall. Let's talk about that interface. Yeah, I know.
Hope your heart stops every 20 minutes.
We're gonna talk about the Will you say what? You said what?
What?
Huh? Oh, okay. Let's talk about the interface and also let's talk about Heartman on Death Stranding. What's up with the Xbox interface? Big Money, do you see that comparison picture video I did where I showed off basically ripped it off?
No, not dreams, please, not dreams.
Motherfucker, it ain't about dreams. Shut the hell up. I'm talking about
you made a video in
dreams.
I'm talking about the Xbox One interface update that they did.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of that.
Did you talk about that with crap?
Just for like a couple seconds.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So do they know that no matter what they do with the interface, nobody's gonna care? Like, if nobody already doesn't want an Xbox, I don't think looking at an interface or getting updates can help. I think you should be putting your focus into making games. Nobody cares about the interface. From what I heard, nobody had a problem with how it looked before. And of course, they got rid of Cortana, meaning they got rid of the voice.
The voice? Oh,
yeah. So you couldn't talk to your Kinect. So if you have a Kinect, it's basically useless. You need to hook up Cortana. Cortana is still there. You have to hook it up through.
You can't even use your headset.
No, you have to hook it up through like Android.
Lazy bastards, dude.
Or Google Echo or something. You gotta hook it up through third party thing now. So it's there, but it's not like you can't really use it the same way you want to. I wanted to do a video about that. I'm probably gonna do that today when I do my themes updates. I'm gonna be using the voice to talk about. Talk to the camera because that shit works. But yeah, so yeah, that's over. But I don't know why they changed the interface. I mean, they got bigger things to worry about than how to.
Bro, they've been doing that for the longest, bro. Continuously changing that interface, mental gymnastics. Like, you get used to where everything's at, they change it, and then probably within a year or less than a year, they change it again.
I thought that they were trying to keep up with whatever Windows they had at that time, like Windows 8 or 10 or 9.
It needs to be minimal and simple, bro.
Bro, the most simplistic UI they had, bro, was when the 360 first dropped, and they called it the
Blades.
Yeah. I like that one. I like that one, especially like at the end where they had like your little avatar, and then they had the game and shit. That was dope, bro. Yeah, they had a nice interface. The 360 was the best that Xbox could do. And I don't think that I'm not going to put out there that they can't do good again. But like I was saying to Crap, it's like, how can you do good? You made this decision that it looks like you can't go back on. How are you going to sit up there and say, well, PC gamers, fuck you guys. We're taking our games back. We're going to put them exclusive again. Like, you can't go backwards from that. I mean, you're already like a centimeter off the cliff. There's no fucking way a 400-pound guy is gonna be able to pull himself up. He's probably dead, bro. He's gonna fall off that cliff. So you can't really do anything. Like they can't do anything to bring those exclusives back. Their games are always going to be on PC. Once they go down this slippery slope, there's no return. I knew
they had their chance last gen. They had all the opportunity in the world
when they did that stupid Windows Store and they started
The
putting shit on
ultimate chance was this year, to be honest, man. The ultimate chance was this fucking year. Last year was a big chance as well because PlayStation only had 4 games.
What are you? No. I'm talking about the slippery slope of putting your games everywhere. They started that with Windows.
I'm talking about them in general, Jade. Like, you know, I mean, like I said,
I think they had
earlier on, like Phil Spencer, like he is that person. He's like a silver snake tongue motherfucker. If he says something, he can convince you. He can convince you.
Long John Silver.
And then when you see him go as the biggest lineup of games for Xbox history, whatever, every fucking year, or wait until next year, or fucking like this year and last year, where it had like what 18 games, some of them were, like said the so number of exclusives, and when you watch that conference, you're like, they weren't exclusives. I'm like, what, like 3 or 4 games that you could maybe say were exclusives, but apart from that, it was just like.
Nah, he's ghetto as hell, man.
You're pissed, bro. It's like this year, everyone's thinking Fable. Oh my god, I can't wait to see Fable. That shit wasn't even fucking there.
No, they didn't give one next gen news, really.
And I've said this numerous times. I kind of get to the point where I feel like, does Fable even exist now? Or is it just one of those things that they want you to believe and then it eventually comes out that they're not making Fable, they're making another game that has characteristics of Fable? That would be okay, I would probably say in some factor. But people want to see that Fable. Like, you know what I mean? They want to have that PlayStation moment where it's like, you know, God of War in 2016. Like, oh shit, Fable's back. It's just like, yeah. Like, no. It's like...
Wait, who would have even been working on that? Would that be Playground Studios? Would that be another studio?
Playground Studios, yeah.
Okay.
That's what everyone says anyway. Kid Smooth, you know, fucking Colt and... You know, I was going to ask him that actually about Colt and him talking about all the time about subscription services.
I forgot to ask him why Major Nelson still has a job. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Wish I could fucking grab it, bro.
I'm just like, why do some people still have a job at that company? I don't
understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, man. It's like I don't know why they think
those white gloves,
these people
bro.
are making great
Gotta
moves.
be related to somebody.
It's terrible.
I do also want to know, as far as you know, this week, which is gonna hurt Xbox, and it's probably gonna kind of like slow down Nintendo a little bit because, no offense, Marvel Ultimate Alliance is not like it's good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna shit on it, but it's not the buzz that you would expect with having pretty much every character that was portrayed in the movies. I expected this game to be, you know, be hearing about it and seeing it all over, and it doesn't look that good. The Fire Emblem is doing good among the fan base that wants to play the game, but I don't think it's like super hot. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have that echoing hype that Spider-Man and Horizon and, you know, God of War had like a week after it came out, or the week that it came out.
And that's kind of in this genre, though.
Yeah, you're right. But that's what I'm saying. What the news we're about to get on Thursday and going into next weekend, that's gonna be some big shit, Sam. Like, I don't know what PlayStation's gonna fucking talk about for 2 hours. What are they gonna do? I think it's the beginning of that 25-year anniversary.
As long as they're not on the couches again, I'll be interested. I'll be paying attention.
Yeah,
but no couches.
I mean, I don't think they're going to Hong Kong to do couches. If they want to do couches, I don't think they ever do couches again. I don't think they're doing it. But Adam, I wanted to talk to you about, you know a lot of knowledge about PlayStation and shit, in depth. Do you have a clue when they're going to start the 25-year anniversary celebration? Because this is the 25th year of PlayStation.
Yeah, it is. And wait, PlayStation 1 came out in November, wasn't it?
Yeah, November.
To be honest, in different regions, but
1894 was.
I think like they would probably
September.
The 25th, the 20th anniversary was 5 years ago. That's what I'm saying. So they are keeping up with when it came out, and that's included in Japan. So that's 1994.
Yeah.
So
I know there's different like releases.
Could be the beginning of the 25th year anniversary.
I don't know.
I mean, you would expect them to go to Tokyo Game Show and start it, but
we know what PlayStation are doing for the next few months. Like they're going to be at Gamescom via,
they're going to be at Evo.
They're going to be at Evo, but like again, they're going to be there in the sense of their own little booth. They're not doing a conference; they're going to be booth in it. Obviously, you got the Chinese thing, which is next week. That's where they're actually doing a conference.
The Evo, they're going to be at Evo.
Yeah, Evo, which they did technically. I mean, it makes sense because I remember at PSX one time they had the Evo tournament for Street Fighter. Or what was it?
Yeah.
No, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom. And then obviously you got the TGS, which again I don't know what they might be doing there. They might not do like a big fucking conference, but they might show off a few games here and there. But again, we get to that point of for instance, what's it called? State of Play. Like, normally it's every other month, and July is next week it ends. Like, so
yeah,
there must be a sense of when are they going to be maybe putting one of them out, or even better than that, maybe some news that PSX is going to be a thing. I don't know. Normally they announce PSX like during the summertime, like after like roughly around like E3, but like we haven't had a fucking word out of that. So that would be a good time to do it, really, because then they could, if they wanted to, they could end the year by doing the 25th anniversary, showing off a couple of games with release dates. They could also maybe do like a brief sort of like 30-minute sort of cycle of what PS5 is and what it can do, like with the February event in 2013. But again, I don't know if they'll do that. I mean, I feel like they might do that next year, though. The whole PS5 secret, like the PS5 sort of event, and then they do like a full-blown thing at E3 or something around E3, where they do like the price.
They're gonna do nothing at PSX.
I mean, we haven't really heard them say that they're doing PSX.
Well, hold on. If they could announce PSX, they're not going to announce it in July. It's too close to E3. They're not going to announce it. Well, yeah. July is too close to E3.
You don't think they could do that early next year instead of just December this year? They could just that could be the event.
That's what I mean about that's what I mean about the February event.
They gonna need a good 6-7 months to promote the PS5.
That's what I'm saying. So I believe they're gonna have a PSX, Adam, but they clearly weren't gonna announce it this month. But we don't know about August because we're not there yet, and we don't know about September. I believe at the latest they can announce it in August sometime, maybe early September, that they're going to have a PlayStation experience in December. So that means you would have October and November to get ready. Most people should already have the money. So long story short, I say the beginning of September and all of August, that's the deadline that they have to let people know if they're going to do PlayStation experience. And they said a few months ago in May that they would be coming back in a couple more months with another PlayStation a state of play. So I'm putting it at September or October where we're going to be getting a state of play. Late September or sometime in October that we're going to get a state of play. So
I don't mind, again, like I mentioned, like I don't think they'll do a PS5 thing there. Like I said, I feel like they might do one.
I mean, they could show off the controller and talk about a
PS4. I feel like they'll do a February event right at the beginning of the year, and then at E3 around E3, they're going to show
it at the beginning of the year. Is developer conference and what? CES?
Yeah,
GDC. But again, like I said, they did their own thing. In 2013, they went to New York and they did like an announcement for the PS4, didn't they? They showed off the controller, what the actual console could technically be able to do. Obviously not finalized though. And then in E3, that's when they showed off the console, the pricing, what it could do, the games, so on and so forth. So I feel like if PlayStation enjoyed that, which if PlayStation understands that format was actually a really good way of going, they'll do it again. Because it was sense of that was the techie part of it in February, and then the June in E3 was more on the aspects of this is where the gamers will focus on the games and what you're going to be expecting in the next few years or what year or whatever. and then there's the price, the date, and what we're going to be doing with the PlayStation Now and Plus and whatever. You know what I mean? They can focus on that shit. Like they cut it in pieces like a cake. Just like, yeah, okay, cool. Put that in there. Put that in there. It can work. Again, like it's weird, but I've said this numerous fucking times. This generation, the end of this generation, is really fucking weird because there are a lot of both consoles have they're doing these weird fucking tactics and these weird sort of aspects of how they're going to do things. It's like normally that we know about the consoles and they go boom, this is the event. It's like it's very straightforward. They're being like it's like fucking war games, that film. Like literally, they're just playing those shadow cards until one just slips up. Is it a game? I don't know, but it's a weird generation. It's a weird end to the generation. It really fucking is. Because it doesn't feel like it's ending. It feels like this whole cross-gen shit, backwards compatibility. It's like these consoles don't have to come out until 2021, but they are coming out next year, hopefully. It's again, I don't fucking know, dude. No, PlayStation could last until 2021 if they wanted.
Yeah, it's all Xbox. If Xbox wasn't forcing the issue, they would have just do that.
Push it.
We got something new from Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer says success doesn't mean pulling Sony down, even though they've been trying to do that all fucking last gen. So that's bullshit.
That's been their MO for the past fucking few years because they know that they're in the back. They know that they're in the back seat and thinking in the driving seat right now. So they have to be like, listen, we're not about the whole console wars. We're all about love and respect.
Yeah, but you even if Sony doesn't want to be hostile and rub it in their fucking face, the fact of the matter is it's public knowledge that you suck right now. And PlayStation is doing very good. Everyone knows how bad Xbox has been. I'm sorry, bro. You could be the biggest Xbox fanboy in history, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. There's no little argument you can form.
We can talk about their stocks.
Shut up. There's no argument you can form. Talk about how much your fucking system sells. Talk about how many people signed up for Xbox Game Pass.
I'm gonna use an analogy right now, and obviously none of you are probably gonna know. I hope some of you might know. But when it comes to competition, right, competitors can hate each other as well as like each other. For instance, back in the day in the F1 Formula 1, you had James Hunt versus Niki Lauda. They hated each other's guts, obviously on the fucking grid. But when they were off the grid, right, later on in life, they were actually good fucking friends. They were really good fucking friends. They respected each other, especially when James Hunt died.
Is he talking about Tron Legacy?
I'm just saying, in general, bro. Like competitors can have this sense of aggressiveness, but at the same time, have some fucking respect. And feels like for Phil Spencer, he's putting too much respect on PlayStation.
Well, they only respect when they lose. When they're ahead, they're obnoxious.
That's what I mean, bro. Phil,
exactly.
Phil's got to be he's got to bring out some sort of ruthless fucking aggression. He really needs to fucking bring that shit out right now. Because he ain't doing that right now. He's like a Jigglypuff right now, bro. He's fucking nice and pink and fluffy, bro. He's like, yo, I love you. It's like, no, get the fuck away from me. Come on, man.
We're all friends.
That's it, and that's the part. And that's the part where I say that Xbox fans, they're confused, man, because this is a competition, man. Hey, we can sit down at the table and talk and stuff, but my company want to beat out your company. We want to sell more games. We want to sell more consoles than you. Phil don't want to do that. Phil want to sit down. He want to sing Kumbaya, and he want to sing it all during the day. Sony gonna sit down and sing with you, but go ahead.
He wants a strategic retreat. He wants a very quiet going into the.
He's not even retreating. He gave up. He's not even retreating. He gave up.
Trying to do it.
He don't want no competition at all. He don't want none.
You right about that. You're right about that.
He don't want it. He would rather put, like I said, he would rather put his games on all platforms and call it a day. Okay, if you going to do that, let your friend, let your customers know. Hey man, let your community know. Your hardcore gamers like crap them. Hey man, this is what we about to do. We just want to sell apps, and that's all the fuck we want to do. Okay, great. Thanks for telling me that. Now I won't have to spend $500 on that fucking console because the shit don't make no sense. They want you to pay $500. And then they don't want you to buy no games. They want you to spend $500 so you can pay $1 or $5 on a.
And again, this comes down to the hardware thing, doesn't it?
It don't make no sense to me.
They
don't make
want
no
to
sense
sell
to me at all.
hardware more than anything, like controllers, fucking consoles, whatever. They want to sell that more than the games. It's like,
if that's what you want to do, if you want to be third party, go total third party. That's why I said that's where they confuse their customers at, because you do all that, but you say, hey, we got a brand new console coming out for $500. What the fuck? Hold on.
When you announce that,
I'm gonna put it this way, bro. They're automatically gonna use. They could bring out their system for $400 or $300. Nobody's gonna buy Xbox if you don't have.
I think they did 300.
Bro. Like this is
$300 Xbox. It won't.
I don't know if they did 300.
Well,
for Halo as a launch game?
300 if you're not even buying a normal Xbox. Like if you
need to go to their hardcore gamers and say, look, we finna start making games that y'all want to play, that y'all want to buy,
and they won't be on PC.
We got that article yesterday that he said that they've been slacking. They're going to try and focus on that. Well, I didn't say hardcore gamers, but he said he wants to try and focus on that.
All I'm gonna say, right? I didn't say this to Crap Gamer, but I think if you look at it this way, they can actually announce Scarlet and say that every game on Scarlet is going to be exclusive to Scarlet instead of putting no Scarlet games on PC. But if they come out and in the beginning they say Scarlet games will be available on Game Pass for PC and these games will be on Steam day one,
there's no point.
You're going to kill your system.
People are buying PCs. Like, it's funny to say this, but I heard about this. More and more gamers are buying PCs now, and there's certain things about that and the reasons why. But obviously, console games, like I think it's understandable on an Xbox point of view because of that. When it comes to PlayStation and Nintendo, it's a completely different entity. You see, I forgot to mention what I was going to say to when Crap Gamer was talking about certain things. I look at this whole thing as like a long fucking fuse, right? And along that fuse is all these motherfucking Xbox fans literally holding the fuse whilst Phil Spencer lights that motherfucker and lets Crap Gamer, all these other guys that are really hoping this fucking shit turns around, just don't let go and just burn with the fucking whole thing. Unlike, but the difference is Crap Gamer, like I told him, bro, you've got to mind your own. You have fucking common sense. You would drop that fucking fuse. You went, fuck you guys, I'm off. And there's more like him. And I'm glad. Because then it gets that point where hopefully, I said, Phil Spencer will have that ruthless fucking aggression to him. It's like, holy shit. When the fuck was this? Because you need to. Like, people like him, Aaron Greenberg, fucking Larry, fucking whatever the hell his name is, Major Nelson, fucking Yabara talking about PC all the fucking time. Those motherfuckers need to stop this shit. You are part of a brand that isn't supposed to be about that. You're supposed to, it's okay to maybe support PC from time to time, that's okay. But you need to concentrate on the thing that constructed the Xbox division, aka the Xbox. Not the PC Xbox. Isn't called that. You know what I mean? It's a sense of what happens if Microsoft stopped funding the Xbox division. They were like, all right, we're going to cut all ties to your money. That would shit them up a bit, wouldn't it? Because they're like, oh, fuck, so we're our own entity. Oh, crap, we've got to make money for ourselves now. We can't just ask them for money. Yeah, you do. Narrow the fuck down and get your goddamn ass to work. Because I feel like that's the thing, innit? You get those kids, those rich-ass, the kids with the rich-ass parents where they go, oh, it's okay. I've got parents that have a fuckload of money. I'm settled. But then, if those parents are, ruthless, they'll be like, listen, we're going to cut ties with money, bro. Sorry, I know you're my kid, but I've got to cut you down. And you've got to do your own shit. You've got to work for a living. You've got to understand the fucking meaning of $1 or £1. That's what I look at in the sense of Xbox. They need to do. I feel like I would love to see Microsoft do that, where they just literally said, Xbox, listen, we're stopping giving you money. You've got to try and fucking profit share. Right now, people are not liking the product. People are not investing in the product. You need to fix certain things. It's funny because this happened to Don Matrick earlier on. Now it's happening with Phil Spencer. That's if you're not blind. And it's like, yeah, it is happening again. You know, you're losing.
I said this before, Adam. Like, I really do think this is their mistake console generation. PlayStation, they had it with the PS3, and Microsoft is having it now. They're having that where they need to look back and they say, hey, we can't do this shit anymore. This next Xbox we got coming out is going to be everything that gamers want and more. And all we want is games. All we want is exclusive. We want to have a reason to buy your console. It's not it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science at all, man. That's why I say I buy a TV to look at TV programs. I buy a radio to listen. I bought my fucking Xbox because I want to play Xbox exclusives. Give me that, and I guarantee you everything else will follow. They keep making this big division between hardcore gamers and casuals. The casuals follow the hardcore gamer. They will buy anything the hardcore gamer buy. And it's more hardcore gamers out there than people realize. I know people might think we're a minority, but we're not. It's a lot of hardcore gamers out there, man. And if you just focus on that, I guarantee you, people will buy your console. That's all Sony been doing. Sony just said that they're going to focus more on the hardcore gaming with the PS5. They've been doing that shit with the PS4. They've been killing it.
Yeah.
All we want is games.
This all comes down to what the PS3, like what they did around the PS3. Yes, they had the studios before the PS3, but they understood the factors that we're not selling our consoles. We need to try and do this. How? How do we do this?
Make games.
Oh fuck, we've got amazing studios. We can make games. Holy fuck.
Exactly. Oh, see, that's what I said. This shit is not rocket science, man. Like, how can it take you? You've been in this. You've been like I say. They're going on their fourth generation of console. You're trying to tell me in no previous 3 generations of console, you did not realize you had to make video games for your video game console? Like, what the fuck? That is just insane. It's not rocket science, Microsoft. It's not rocket science. Like, god damn, it's like they sitting there trying to figure out trigonometry or some shit. Like, all you got to do, make games. That's it. Make exclusive games.
Go back to
That's
the
all
basics.
you got to do. Everything else will follow.
Just go back to the basics, and you'll figure shit out. If it gets too complicated, that's what you do, right? Whatever it is in life, you overcomplicate things. Best thing to do is go back to the formula, like just the normal formulas, and then go from there. If you do that, then you're gonna find shit out real quick. But if you do what they're doing, where you're overcomplicating things and you're keeping that overcomplicated aspect going, you're not going anywhere, my friend. You're just not. You're implementing all these other things which shouldn't be there. Like, we're going into the aspects of, like, you know, it's like such a.
Hey Jay, my thing about to run out of power. How long we got?
This is we're coming up on 4:30, so we're about to end. I'm gonna capture this new content, but thanks everybody for showing up. Big Money, Adam, Crap Gamer, Spartan was here. Boca Loca, of course. Thank you.
He got kicked out.
Yeah, fuck Yellow. Fuck Yellow. Yellow wasn't here.
Oh
fuck
God, I forgot about that guy. Yellow. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I'm a bar at Hub.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Guy that likes playing dreams. I forgot about you.
Hey man, that's you know what? Like I was saying before, man. Extra shout out to Crap, because I never thought Crap would come on. It's just not from his past. I know that he's a gamer, but like I said, that's the same thing I was saying when Tim Dog was here. I would never think that but they're gamers first, and I think a lot of people got to realize that, man. But the Xbox community and a lot of people don't want to face that fact that these guys are gamers first. And it wouldn't have made no difference when they changed their mind, when they wanted to go. But because you got to realize all that time, even though Crowd was so much on the Xbox side, he was still playing other games. He was playing PlayStation. He used to say it all the time. Hey, man, I'm playing this. I'm playing. But he was just, his fans were so focused on him and Xbox, they forgot that he was a gamer first. And that was the thing, man. A lot of these guys like MBG, I don't know. You'll never know the real intention of anybody because ain't nobody just gonna come out and say, yeah, I did it for this or I did it for that. I did it for subs. But I do commend people that do come out and say, hey, man, I'm tired of this shit and I want to play something else. Xbox, I'm a big fan and you not doing us right. So I'm going to go to the other side. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all, man.
I feel like he's being genuine, though.
Well,
yeah, he was. He was.
Like,
there's more to talk about. Like MBG, like he doesn't want to be like he's numerous times he said this. He doesn't want to do a video about how much Xbox could do this, Xbox could do that. When you could literally go to a sense of, in this point, PlayStation, and talk about games and talk about these rumors of this game and stuff like that, and you think to yourself, this shit gonna happen. But when it comes to Xbox, there's a lot of people that cover their news, which is the same shit every fucking week. And it's like, what news have we got? Like brand new news from Xbox this week. What is brand fucking spanking new that's actually interesting? Nothing apart from what we saw on Twitter, which was Phil Spencer in a video talking about the cloud, and then also the factors of some article mentioning subscription services again. Like that's a negative output. Like you can only take so much negativity to the point where like you want to talk about something positive, and that's what MBG has done, right? He's playing like Horizon, God of War, and stuff like that. And then Crap Gamer said like he's played God of War, he's played Uncharted and stuff like that, and so on and so forth, and he's got something to talk about. He's got something to I'm not saying like he didn't have anything before that, but there's just more to it. It's like of course. Like if I was at Xbox,
you know what? What if now JayTech, check this out. What if you just for a whole month straight you did straight Xbox news? You've been telling everybody all you've been doing is playing Xbox. What people gonna stop? They gonna stop subbing to you?
Laugh at me. They would tell me, "Oh, you're joking," because there's no Xbox.
Can you imagine you doing like a month straight of PC gaming? Oh my god, that'd crack the whole fucking internet.
Yeah, it would.
Like, no, you're not.
Everything on PC is already coming to PS4, and I saw that, so fuck that shit. I would give Xbox. If somebody gives me their old Xbox, I would go out, get Sunset Overdrive, play that shit for a couple weeks, put up
It's fun.
I would do something like that. And I would replay Fable 1 again on backwards compatibility. I would I think that's about it. They got like the old Naruto from 360, I might play that. But if I was to get an Xbox, I don't want to pay. If somebody's willing to give it to me or give me the money to buy a cheap Xbox One, hey, that's on you. I would not mind putting up content. I don't feel that same way about Nintendo, because if they come out with a cheap enough content, and I still got to get a 100% confirmation, Adam, that they've relaxed on their copyright rules for YouTube for me to actually Nintendo. I want to put up Nintendo content, but I don't think that I can. Because I don't think they've fully relaxed on it yet.
It's fucking Nintendo, bro. Like they are ridiculous.
Like they would have done even better with the Switch if people were able to capture long periods of time and stream. And it's just like, man, bro, these like copyright everything on Nintendo.
You can't share shit, can you, on the Switch? Can you? There's not like a share button. I wonder why.
I think they do have one.
I think they got something like that. Because you can screenshot
strictly.
They strictly Nintendo, man. Seems like they'll fucking
old school.
Well, I'm glad Sony the way they are, man. That's why they ahead.
Share
button. PlayStation might have been kind of like closer to Xbox, but it's like free advertisement. You're getting pictures out there, live streaming, videos. I mean, then you got the video editor and Share Factory. There's so much shit on PlayStation 4, man.
I mean,
I
want
to start having discussions about PS5, to be honest. Maybe we'll do it next week. But Adam, I'm gonna need you to try this week to download Discord. Big money if you don't already have it. Remember,
yeah, I
got Discord.
And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make a party, a group, just specifically for Sunday podcast. You guys don't even have to join the PlayStation Legion Discord channel because it's a lot of PC fans in there. I'm trying to get out of there. But if you want to join and we want to go from there, we can do that. But I don't want anybody jumping in the party chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's a private one. I'm going to invite you guys to it. And that's how we going to do it on Sunday. And stream it from the OBS. And that's how we do it. So we're going to still do Sundays without Google Plus connected to YouTube. We'll still be doing Sundays at 2 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for showing up. It's almost 4:30. Thank you, everybody, man. Really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for the new followers on Twitter. Thanks for the people that are clicking the subscribe button. Thank you, guys. Everything you guys been showing me, I'm trying to show it back to you with getting up some good content, talking about some good topics. Thank you, guys. You know, also, don't forget about the Power of Dreams. I'm out.
Oh. Uh-oh.